Hello, hello. Been a minute, but I'm gonna hang out with Patrick and all them crew. See what kind of nonsense happens. Click my game shit. See how much better it looks with the light on. Looks better, I suppose. Looks a little better. With some cheddar. Yada.
Can kick your ass. She can kick Patrick's ass, and she can kick Wiley's ass, or whoever just came in.
Wiley.
Ronda Rousey can kick all of our.
Wiley Coyote.
What Ronda Rousey can kick all of our ass. I don't care
I
what you
guess
say. You're not more of a man than Ronda
That's from
Rousey.
a
You never will
that's from a
be.
physical perspective. Because now you have to consider, what about the mental? She can be physical. She can be physically strong all she wants.
yeah.
She
So
can
that's
be
that's
strong.
just it.
But now you
Most
have to
men
look
meet
at
the
it from mental.
physical. It's the
That's the
mental
only
that
difference.
I struggle
That's
with.
the only
Oh,
difference. It's physical. We and women can women grow babies. That's the only difference.
you always have to look at it from
Um.
a singularity, never just.
So I guess as far as like the submission part is knowing that even though I submit to them, they still honor my opinions and take them into account without abandoning their own belief and their own um
That's
in their
compromise.
own manhood. You know what I mean?
I was
Um,
integrate.
That's not manhood, womanhood. That's compromise. That's
No,
normal.
they're
That happens between gay people.
well, it's compromise and integration because there's different.
okay, well, I'm talking about submitting to so the dynamic of submitting to your partner. So allowing them to lead because you know that they are taking into account still, like if I were to express, obviously in a respectful place, express something that I did not like or that it wouldn't be just shut down because that's the way he wants it to be, right? Which is, in my upbringing, that's the way my father is. He's very, um, he's the Catholic patriarchy. He's your typical, um, talks down to women, and women are there to serve him and whatnot. So I struggle back and forth with that because that's hardened me and my heart. When I really do want to be able to go into that space where I can relax, where I'm not tense all the time, but it's hard because I see so many of these traits of like men thinking that their mindset is the only way that is good and whatnot, but they forget that women with in their ability to nurture and stuff like that can see other sides of the coin that may benefit them in their pursuit of leading as well. So I just want there to be equal in the sense of they still honor me the same way that they honor themselves. Like they don't think of me as less, which I feel is very few and far to come between when it comes to the Christian men out there. Maybe not the true followers of Christ, but the ones that say that they're followers of Christ, but then they go around and they act like my father, who
Well, and that's what got me. That's what got me is because when you started saying these things like submitting to your man and all this stuff, I started having these flashbacks of like these crooked dudes that think they're in charge of women and they're gonna just like boss them around and tell them how to live their whole life. And it was it was from a Catholic faith, but that's not the only faith that practices that kind of thing. And
yeah.
there's something to like the traditional way of like working if it kind of works for you or whatever, and where you're like you want to stay home and he goes to work and he makes all the money and you take care of the kids, no big deal, fine. But if you're gonna have a conversation, when you have a conversation, that takes two people. That's you know what I mean. That's the way I see it. It takes two people. No matter who's making the money, no matter who owns the house. You know what I mean. If you're involved with somebody legitimately,
But it
you're
gets
not their
more
slave.
complex when kids are in the picture, right? So when you're raising and parenting and stuff like that, those are those values that you really have to talk about is how are you going to raise your kids? And that is when it starts getting real triggering. That's when it starts hitting the most inner parts of your child's self as well, and how you want to show up as a parent,
I
how
think
you want to
that's
show up and stuff like that. And I'm just really struggling because it just seems like everybody wants to have children, but nobody wants to actually be a parent. Nobody actually wants to work hard on a relationship to foster these types of environments that raise kids that feel resilient to the world that is trying to crush us. It's
I think time is going to help with that, because like it's easy for us to see a very specific perspective, and this is my own personal experience, and this is just recently.
toxic as well. And so who am I to tell somebody that they're being toxic if I still have not addressed my toxicity? It's like, yeah, like, how are you going to talk about
Well, there's levels to that shit. There's
sliver
levels
in
to
your
that
eye
shit
when you
too.
have a plank in yours? It's
Yeah, but there's levels to that shit. Me and you are not Saddam Hussein. We're never going to be Saddam Hussein. We're way cooler than it. It's just the way it is. I'm just saying.
I think we
It's
could
just the
tie that.
truth, and I'm not.
I don't know.
I'm not going to sit around and pretend like I'm shittier, way
I'm
shittier than I am. I'm not.
fucking
I'm not perfect, but I'm not a piece of shit. If that's
I
the
think-
truth.
I mean,
think
I'm
we
very
have
good
to-
at not being toxic. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
very good at it.
I think we
To a
can
certain
bring
point.
that back. We can bring that back to what Plato was saying earlier about the small talk, right? When you're looking at small talk, there's people that they would communicate in a very specific way, and you're gonna see it as lack of depth. But then there's people that you talk to them long enough, and they start to open up. And you're like, dang.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. Like
And that-
you can get so much out of a conversation if you kind of know how to talk to a person. You just have to get various, literally, like if you were to do a brain scan of this, you would see areas of the brain unlocking that normally don't in their
okay.
typical ways of behaving. And I mean, even like that's another way of seeing it. Another angle to approach this from is the gratitude and the infinite appreciability, where every conversation is precious, every interaction is precious. We're all these vessels of universal introspection, and whenever we get to have interactions with each other in a form that's to be valued, and you can examine that value infinitely. So really, that to me has helped a lot. But I kind of got there through the psychedelics a bit, maybe, so that's not for everyone. But there's ways to get there through the meditations, of course, and that's a state of mind that I think we all would want to attain from conversations I've had with others. That seems to be the case. But yeah, I mean,
We have
You know,
to
I'm looking for
the negative
you know,
talk,
just like,
the negative conversations, right? The negative conversations hurt. Because
Yeah,
we're
like trying to put a
rainbows and
yeah,
butterflies.
it's like,
It's shame.
I
Shame
feel like-
out.
I just need like the right player in a relationship, then it's like, all right, we got this shit. You know, like
There is no right player.
did you fucking understand? You know,
Like 600 BC or whatever, 600 BC or whatever, 600 AD to before. So I mean, that was just the way of the world. It's not good or
and it's
right.
just easier. You know, like stupid belief systems. Look at
It's might makes right.
We have to
It's might makes right.
we have to consider the opposite perspective. Because are there selfish women out there?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Totally.
There's a space where that shit exists.
Dude,
And
there's shitty
that's
human
probably the
beings in any
space he's
form.
in.
well, so
Yeah,
there's
but
a
when
there's
I
a term.
asked him,
Yeah.
when I asked him,
If that's the case, you should respond by saying, "Should that remain the case?
Right.
What are you doing right now to stop that from being the case?"
Mhm.
Like this needs to be stopped right at the source. And when patriotism and bigotry rear, wouldn't be constructive, I'm afraid. And so I just kind of like stay
What's the
away from
extreme
it.
one?
Depends. It all depends.
It's
on
the
how
extreme
they-
ones
oh, they're like
that are
I'm saying, yeah, it depends on how they
Punisher.
if someone comes into good faith and they don't understand something, the Bible that I might understand, or whatever the fuck, like that's one thing. But like, if you are literally just saying like that's fake news or
Yeah.
like that kind of dumb shit, it's like, dude, you're gonna piss me off because now you're just getting me mad. You know, like
well, I said to him that it made me feel like I was inherently wrong, and that like it made me feel really crappy.
sure.
Well, the Bible's full of shit, There.
All of them.
There.
To
I said
acknowledge
it.
that shit too,
Well,
and
that doesn't really help
that's
me.
not gonna
But
do that.
I'm sorry.
They're not gonna
A
care
lot
about
of
it.
it is. A lot of it's. A
I
lot
mean,
of it's bullshit. A lot of it's
how
just
super
like
are you
wrong.
su-
Why
would you
are
cons-
they leaving women out and shit?
Well, I'm saying, would you consider
Okay,
yourself
so this
super
is where
religious?
Brian. This is for you. You
Like
can say no.
their ideological dedications
Who are you
surpass
asking?
your
I was gonna
feelings
ask you.
and like how you feel on it.
We asked you.
I'm not saying the Bible is bad. I'm just saying there's some shit in it
There's
that's wrong, and there's some shit in it that's left out.
Sure.
They didn't
I
cover
would
There's no
say-
way they covered the whole story.
I would say is it's capturing a very specific story. That's the thing.
Yeah,
There wouldn't be
manufactured.
other religion. There wouldn't be other religions if there wasn't another perspective. Right now, the core variant of we'll say Christianity is compassion, and a lot of people misinterpret.
That's the best.
Brings a
thing
lot of
religion
that's
does.
true too.
That is the best thing.
It
religion
saves
does.
a lot of people from spiraling. It gives a
That's true
space.
too.
It gives a
But
space
that
for
doesn't
people.
mean
Look, it
the
gives
problem
a space
is
for
the
people-
pastors. The problem is the pastor said, "Go look in the book, and that's going to tell you all the answers." That's not the truth. That's the problem.
That's dogma, and that's the problem with religion in general, is that we assume that people can just resist the dogmatic aspects of religion, but it seems like half of brains tend to have this religious tendency or this tendency towards superstition, very right hemisphere, connecting the dots, conspiratorial way of thinking. I could put more descriptors on it. But it seems like that is the way that the brain tends to go, and then they just grab onto the ideology and allow the ideology to do the thinking for them, to the point that Plato's experiencing what she's experiencing. And I've seen some really fucked up stuff in my own church that we used to.
Like a song or something like that, and it was like he must have been working on it or something. It was a very intense song, and they were fighting.
Been working on it.
I was like, he's like, "Did you watch it?" And part of the thing said,
Little bitches as women too. Like people act like men don't have any
True.
kind of fucking. They're the man that freaks out and kills his whole family.
I cried.
Like, right?
Yes,
Like,
I cried
that's
2
not-
days
that's not a
ago.
good thing,
I was
right?
sick.
Like,
I really do need your guys' help. So please, like, put aside your biases and please listen to this because I feel like I'm actually heading into a bad area. with
Oh
him.
shit. Okay.
And I just want to know
Oh,
if I'm
fuck.
if I'm delusional or
Wait.
Depends
if
on
this is
let's
actually
listen.
toxic.
is this about a guy or is this about like the church?
Just listen. Just listen.
This is a guy that I've
I-
been seeing for like 2 months now.
Mhm.
Trying to figure
And I
this out,
just
dude.
feel like I'm getting mixed messages because he'll like say we have to be careful and stuff like that. And like, so we haven't slept together or anything. Like,
Yep.
we've been keeping it very like the way that we're supposed to.
Mhm.
But like, he's been like last week, he was like, yeah, I would like to be exclusive. And then, we ended up doing some things. And then after that, he was like, well, I'm not sure if I want to be exclusive. So then he like pulled that back. So then I was like, that was the first thing that I was like, okay, this seems very like,
Drop them now.
Yeah.
No,
I'm saying
yeah.
things
Fuck.
like
Listen to your
like that.
opinion.
Are you getting that? Are you
Yep.
getting the push and
Nope.
pull?
Nope.
Are you seeing a
Yeah.
push and pull behavior? If you're getting the push and pull behavior, that's
but I don't know if it's push and
Not gonna
pull
stop.
or if
Not gonna
it's
fucking
because
stop.
I'm expecting him to tell me what he wants now and he's feeling pressured.
Yep.
Look, a healthy man isn't going to do that. What he did, how he responded to what you guys did, that's not healthy.
Nope.
You
He
don't
needs to
do
know
that.
what he fucking wants.
He clearly doesn't know what he wants, and that's going to cause you a lot of
Well, no,
grief.
or either that or he does know what he wants and he knows it'll cause you grief, and so he'll put you on the hook.
Sure. Either
And that's
way, it's gonna
trauma
cause you
bonding.
grief and it's gonna cause you
That's-
pain.
Yeah, it's
that's
fucked up.
a way of connecting to someone. So if you've already seen those red flags and you've seen how you're someone who feels deeply. That's going to be a very sensitive disconnection. So you have to be able to understand what that feels like, but also allow yourself to have anchor points so that you're not spiraling because that shit hurts, and you'll start to shame yourself for that specific behavior, right? Because you guys just had an intimate act. He disconnected, and now in your mind you're blaming yourself, like, oh, was it something I did? You don't want to do that because that's what that's meant to do. Because the people who want that behavior to end, they're just going to validate that shit again. They're going to go, oh, you know what? I'll just give you more sex. Our connection will be stronger. But that's not the right thing to do because you deserve better than that.
It's probably a power.
You need to
dynamic
be able
too.
to understand how that feels. Yeah, absolutely. And understand that power dynamic. What's he trying to get from you? Because if he only gives when you're giving us a very specific thing, that's not a emotional connection. That's not an emotional relationship. That's a transaction.
Transactional.
If I don't get anything, you're not getting
Ego.
it. So
Just
disconnect from that shit.
monkey thinking versus
Yeah.
like actual human feelings
Yeah.
and stuff. You know.
You know, when you go through something like that, it can be extremely difficult because it's easy to tie yourself to that specific situation and think that you're less because of it. And you have to be willing to sit with yourself and decide that you deserve better because you do. You have to be able to love yourself. And when you do love yourself, and you love yourself in a way that brings you peace and brings you love and brings you harmony, right? People who behave that way, that shit is not going to phase you anymore. But you have to give yourself time, right? Because there's going to be assholes. But you have to put yourself out there so that you understand how the world works, how the world works with these specific men. And guess what? Not every man is going to be the same, but you have to give it a chance. And you can't automatically assume that, hey, this man is full of shit because of a few red flags. You have to really endure it. Like, if it's confusing you, sit with it long enough so that you understand. But if it's causing you suffering, and I'm talking about real suffering, like if you're being deprived of a specific love, and I'm not saying like, oh, he's not giving me attention. No, I'm saying he's in a relationship, but he doesn't give me any affection. Trust me, you're gonna realize. That's why it's important for you to understand how you love yourself and how much love you're giving yourself. The moment I sense that disconnection, man, you have to be willing to say, I don't deserve this. And you have to understand what you're meaning when you say I don't deserve this. What exactly don't you deserve? You have to know. If you don't know, then you haven't embraced or endured that emotion long enough. You haven't
Like there
understood.
should be no uncertainty. Really.
There's going to be uncertainty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
no
think it's
uncertainty.
impossible to do. Yeah. Life is uncertain.
You're never truly going to know something.
Well, I just mean, you know, like you
But
know when
you can-
something's
you can
right,
limit the
right? When
variables,
something
I get
fits.
that,
Yeah.
yes, but I don't know. I just feel like also like if you're saying you've only been
Sucks.
hanging out and shit for like 2-3 months, like I said, this should be like the honeymoon period where you guys should be just like always happy in love and that kind of feeling. So like if you're already having doubts and problems right now, I feel like it's only gonna get worse. Because at this point, you guys should be all fucking super happy and want to know everything about each other every fucking day and minute of the day. You know, like I feel like that's how all relationships are for the first like 3 to 6 months, and then you start dealing with whatever, and then it gets tougher. You know, and like going back to what you're saying, like a lot of people, that's where they struggle. They're like, I gotta get out of this. I gotta get a new person because it feels good right away, versus struggling and having to work with somebody to improve.
And you have to choose that. Like, you have to decide if that's worth the struggle or not. It's not up to us. Like, we may be coming to a consensus on this, but that doesn't mean it's the right consensus.
For sure.
You know,
There's never
talk with
a
the person.
consensus,
Or yeah.
Does he have like the
Because we got
maturity
into an
to-
argument about what the pastor said, and I said, because he reiterated what the pastor said, and I said, the way you explain it makes me feel like I'm inherently evil. And he said, we all are. You need someone to save you. And then he sent me Romans 7:17 through 25, and then
Can't stand that. Like,
Corinthians,
broken
1
pipes.
Corinthians.
That's like the inborn
said,
sin or
read-
whatever it's called.
See, I think these are all manipulation
Read about
tactics,
Paul's
honestly.
struggle with sin.
I mean, everybody keep talking at the same time. Let her talk.
Yeah, what do
Sorry,
you- what
can
do
you
you
please
say?
let her talk?
And he said, but you were washed and sanctified through the blood of Christ. And so like he was saying these things like women are self-serving and stuff like that. So then I got angry because it was like,
Mhm.
after all this time and him like kind of playing this game, I was like, and then I think about how you were self-serving just a bit ago when you lied and said we could be exclusive just to serve your lustful desires. I've tried to have a normal conversation with you again since, and it seems you only want to spend time with me when it serves your fleshly desires. I've been strong in denying you that power over me without commitment, but I'm still feeling like maybe you aren't being 100% honest with me and your intentions. I've been talking to God and asking him to bring me clarity in what I should do given the repeated pushes for sexual engagement, but I haven't heard anything from him unless he is speaking to me through my ailments I'm experiencing. I feel sad because I think that social media has you thinking of women as these awful things despite me trying to be fair, honest, and open with you to the best of my human abilities. I don't feel connected to you anymore because there's no clarity, and that makes me really sad because I enjoy when we're actually communicating, just expressing myself and my view, but it seems like you are projecting a lot of your own issues onto women when you two are acting in sin along with us. And
He doesn't care if you cut him off. He just gave you the answer. He can say whatever else after that. That was his true answer.
Yeah.
He doesn't really care. Like if it happens, like
Yeah.
if he stays with you and does whatever, he's happy
Yeah.
with it. And if you fucking leave and he goes to another chick or whatever the fuck, he doesn't care. I don't think at this point.
There was no
And
vulnerability.
he's pushing onto you.
Yeah, he's pushing all the weight of the situation onto you. He said, you know what? I'm gonna invalidate my own emotions that I'm feeling, and I'm just gonna disconnect. And he chose that disconnection fast. Hey, I don't care. That disconnection, because if
Yeah,
there was a
dude.
man
Do not invest.
you had, he's gonna show some sort of vulnerability. And he's gonna say, you know what?
Not
Right,
yes.
let's talk about this. Let's
He's
take.
not invested.
He's not invested. So
Yeah.
you're saying, yeah, it's all the red flags are there.
okay.
And listen, it's gonna be hard because that behavior, that trauma bonding is addicting, right? Because
Yeah.
you have the
It can turn really
anticipation to
toxic.
get better, and then once they know that they have you reeled in, they're gonna go back to their previous behavior, and it's gonna be this push and pull game. You don't want that.
Dude.
It-
Like,
it-
pisses me
Yeah,
off.
that's another thing. That's another thing because what Carlos is saying is true. Is like because if you do go back to him and you do like it can turn into a back and forth thing where you're like I said earlier, on the hook, where and you're like trying to figure out if it's ambiguous because you haven't really thought it through, but they've already thought through how to put somebody on the hook. That's what these kinds of people do.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
I mean, I can
It's crazy.
attest from personal experience. I've watched this in
Hey,
my relatives where a strong Christian patriarchal household where she just settled into that, and that's what can happen to a brain because again, the path of least resistance, the brain can prefer these kind of like simpler narratives. You know, that's what you see in religiosity in general. It seems, and then that gets taken into behavior and treatment, and then he ended up being basically verbally abusive to her throughout their entire relationship because he had that final say. He always had the final say on everything, and I think that like bled over into his conversations with other people, and then he struggled to make relationships work because men
I don't
are evolved.
I don't even know if you
Amazing out
can
there.
I don't even know if you can do traditional relationships like and have a relationship with a man who is like, where's the dam? Because like to have enough.
If she comes in as a strong, independent person,
I'm
and
just
the guy
saying,
breaks her down. Like that's not.
you
right,
run
you know what I'm
into-
saying?
You run into a man with money, there's a chance he's also going to be the kind of man that's willing to break somebody down. That's all I'm saying.
That's true. You're not wrong. That's absolutely
But
true.
also, I mean, I will argue that like you can find poor people that are gonna fucking rob you and fucking take you blind too. So I mean, like it's
So-
the person more than.
So
like,
what if
the
that's
thing.
That's
just
true,
him
too.
growing up then? Like what if he's still like learning?
Huh? That's
There's
that's
no
my point.
vulnerability.
And
If he,
he's
yep,
probably going to hit you back up.
yep.
Mhm,
Once he needs some sort of connection, he's gonna hit you back up.
mhm.
Because the thing is, when you look at a man like that, again, there has to be some sort of vulnerability in that specific moment. When you guys are talking about something that serious, that vulnerable, especially with you, you want that safe space. And if he can't give it to you, if he can't be vulnerable with you and he's disconnecting from that, guess what? That's what he's gonna do. Because you presented a problem to him. A problem that had weight to it. It's something that was causing you harm, and you wanted it to communicate with him about the situation, and he decided to disconnect from me, not invest
Yeah,
in
dude.
him before.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have to look at all the red flags. Disconnection after an intimate moment, disconnection after a moment of vulnerability when an issue
Yeah,
arises.
what he's
He's shown.
what Carlos is describing is like literally stuff out of a textbook. He's describing psychology that is
Yeah.
literally out of a textbook. These are textbook red flags.
Relationship therapy 101.
And like I said, the thing
But
is,
no,
like, if you're in a
exactly.
relationship for like
I mean,
10
yeah,
years,
I mean,
it'd be
the
one thing.
religion obviously is tricky, but yeah.
Hey Mel,
Hey,
Hello.
hello, hello.
We're
How
doing
are you
relationship therapy
tonight?
tonight, apparently. Yeah, how's things going?
Good.
Oh, gosh, right there.
Damn it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sorry, I just came in. That sounded like a juicy
Juicy what?
sharing here.
Juicy
Carlos, that was
sharing?
right up my alley, dude.
it was indeed
Oh.
juicy. It was indeed juicy.
We were taking care of each other, trying to take care of each other.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
mixed signals.
You know, I had a woman I was talking to, and
Yes.
and we were having a conversation, and you know, I'm the type of person that likes to give a little bit of silence when we're communicating, just to see how specific behavior arises, and she was
Fuck that.
she was super destructive, because the thing is like, imagine we're filling every moment of our conversation. When do you guys give yourself a break to embrace the moment?
Oh, I mean, oh, yeah.
It's like, yeah, like I try to give it that
Oh, I
breathing,
think we talked about this.
and there was
yeah.
like a need to fill it, but there was a destructive response to my behavior. Right? There's, hello, are you gonna talk?
It was like the one chick.
That's terrible. Because
last
like
year
if
or
it's
whatever.
5 seconds, 10 seconds of silence,
Yeah.
that shouldn't cause you to, that should not
Yeah.
cause you to react that way. Like, dude,
I cannot,
I'm trying to look at the sun.
That's intense.
can definitely
What
not
is
play
that?
somebody's
What's going on in
therapist
that person's head?
Yeah,
like
well,
that.
it's
Like
anxiety.
that.
To feel the need is the need to feel the silence.
But there's a limit to that, you know.
Definitely.
You don't want to be so like to me, like personally, to me, like I'm to the point where it's like I have very little time left to sit around and try and figure out if someone's ambiguously being an asshole and they don't realize it, or if they're actually an asshole. You know what I mean? Like I don't have time to figure it out. Just like, don't be an asshole. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, main thing that I'm getting
Yeah,
at
there's
is
nothing wrong
in
with that.
relationships, don't play games. Like, people got to stop doing that shit. Like, if you want something, just be open. Like, if you just want to fuck, that's cool. Just be honest about it. You know, like if you want to fucking be in a relationship, you know, like stop lying to whoever you're trying to manipulate at that time. Like, that's the thing that really bothers me more than anything. It's just fuck, man. In today's world, just be honest.
That's true too. But then they don't get there's a couple things that they don't get out of that. They don't get the fulfillment of the game.
Sure.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
of like, it felt gross. Honestly, it felt gross. Honestly, it felt like I was being used. You know, but then like I'm like, okay.
Before multiple times at parties. It's like it's a fallacy called relative privation, where basically the argument is that because of this, these people have it much worse. You should be much more worried about that. A typical example is like, well, there's so many kids starving in Africa. Why are you spending money on like, you know? So that applies to a lot of things, and I think like, you know, women have obviously had it terrible, and there's this assumption that suddenly that's gotten better. But we still see that women have 83% of the income of men globally. And no, that's the U.S. Yeah, and I think that's basically the same globally. But yeah, and like she was talking about white men as well, and I do think the it's like black people have had it much worse, and so that's right, that's true, and so I think they get the majority of the argument, and then, but there needs to be a space for white people to white men and women and everyone to speak. Thankfully, we're making those spaces. I mean, look at what we're doing here. Like we can talk about these topics with freedom across the world, which is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, that
But
makes
yeah, I
sense.
mean, just like the concept of relative privation, I think is useful to Jordanian, Caucasian.
I'm half Lebanese, so
I'm hybrid.
I'm mostly.
Yeah.
Mostly white.
You said
Race aside, though, can we go back to like what happens pretty early in life? Like, I know in third grade, that's when young girls start not performing well in math, and that's the spiral.
Is that because they hit puberty around third, fourth grade?
Yeah, third grade, when they're age 8, they really start to fall behind in math.
No, but I'm saying, do you think that's to do with them starting to get
They do.
like, their woman parts and stuff, like their first periods and shit, like they become all that?
hormones.
Yeah, I'm
Hormones
saying,
start taking
do you think that correlates or affects why their math scores? Probably because they're dealing with more bodily issues and shit like that, you know?
Okay, well, it's been a long time since I've been in a grammar school. Yeah, developmentally, that could be the onset of puberty for girls, especially.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's happening socially where you're a gangster at age 7, you know, like the whole world's in front of you, and then you hit the brakes. Like, I'm not sure, to be honest.
Yeah, I would say is a combination of a bunch of stuff. I mean, there's
Is that just in Western schooling, or is that in schooling worldwide?
Well, here's what's so prickly is the USA is so behind now. So it's like, what the hell? Like, we lost our footing big time. So it's so hard to say. In the 30 years, I would say, yeah, that was like the crucial age when we saw the lag. And now it's just blown apart. Like, it's just so shitty now from Jump Street. I don't know.
It is. It kind of went through the shitter. The kids can't read and shit, just like in general these days, right? That's what's being reported. It's like,
So I tend to actually blame more the parents, only because like if the teacher's teaching, right, and they call the parent and say like, "Hey, Timmy's not fucking doing good at this," if the parent doesn't try to do anything about it, you can't expect the teacher or the school or whoever to help them. Like, it comes back to you need some kind of structure at home in order to help that child get better at education. Because everyone blames teachers, blames everyone else, like the system and stuff. But I always try to tell people, it's like the system can only do so much. You gotta have people at home to fucking make sure that they're doing their homework, make sure they're doing their assignments, and blah blah blah. You know, like.
Guidance.
Yeah, they work with each other. I mean, they work with each other.
Sure.
It's like school is going to be there to give you structure, and then home is also going to give you structure, but it's also going to be a place where you learn how to love.
Mm-hmm.
And if you aren't receiving that love, well, it's going to present itself at school, right? If you have a test, a math test, and you're a woman or a girl, and you feel like shit because you're getting treated badly at home, well, it's going to influence your test scores.
Mm-hmm.
Just like if the mentality is if you have a specific mentality where you're thinking about, oh, well, if I do bad, what are the consequences going to be? A person who thinks like that during a test is going to be affected by their anxiety. So there's so many different directions in how they affect one another. So I would say it's both, you know, because they spend a significant time at school, but they also spend a significant amount of time at home, and even the space that they're in when they're outside of school and home, right? So it's
then it's society itself too.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many variables you have to consider. That's they give a specific answer to, you know.
Well, but here's the thing: if it sucks for both genders, then why do we still have this lag? Like, across the board, everybody should be just floundering.
Well, it can be, but it can be a matter of all the things that
Is it that men do
Carl-
better in
Carlos just
survival
said.
circumstances than women?
I don't think it's
Well,
going to
yeah,
be just
chivalry.
one thing.
Yeah, it
We
depends.
have chivalry because. Oh, sorry. I mean, I guess like chivalry is dying or something because it's good for it too. I don't know, but I think the reason that it originated is because of the assumption on the relative privation, where the underlying assumption is that because women are physically weaker, they should be cared for more, or men should go out of their way to do more, like hold the door for them and all that. Is that right? And is
That's
that
true.
right?
Mm,
I mean, it
It
plays a
may
social
be from the right
factor.
perspective and the wrong perspective. Oh, why are
It
you
depends
holding
on-
Maria Antoinette?
There you go.
The woman. I mean, been a bunch of times where women did run something. We're not saying that it was the majority of it, but
sure. And what happened?
in
What
specific
happened to Mary
regions,
Antoinette? Did she get her
and
head
they-
chopped off? So like even the
Yep,
one
she
one
sure
woman
did.
that ran Germany, right?
She's not.
No, didn't she just lose?
Fucking Hillary
German.
Clinton.
She was a
Hillary
German
Clinton's running
chancellor.
shit.
Yeah, she lost though. That one dude just took over. I'm pretty sure. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she was in
Well, how
tight
about
with
the fact that we were lied to about the whole fucking Holocaust? How about that?
What were we lied about per se?
Hey, to be honest,
Haters to this anti-Semitic bullshit, and it's meant to suppress Christian ideology and everything. It's just that's what gets me the most is that you can't even speak out against these motherfuckers, and they're the ones running our entire culture into
Well,
the
the
ground.
Christians came from the Jews,
Mhm.
so like you can't.
We hate on Asians for being smarter and having better jobs and shit because of their education level and shit like that. Because that's basically what it is.
No, but are they using that to kill us?
Well, some people would argue like China is. So I mean,
We all came-
I personally don't say that, but some people would argue that the China fucking trying to take over the world.
Lands and they herded cattle. Their life was rough, so they turned into rough people. The people between Russia and Europe, they were just
Yeah,
rough
and that's why the
people.
Jews
People-
get kicked out
the
of
people
every
that ended
country
up-
they go into.
The people that ended up going to Russia, they turned into rough people.
Yeah.
It's Muslim people. It's Muslim
can't-
people
we
get
can't
kicked out
just
of
think about
colleges
the
because they
same
can't
way.
talk shit about whatever. You know, like I don't know. I mean,
I know
I remember
that's-
back in the day where you couldn't talk shit about Muhammad either because you might get fucking killed. So I mean, like the people that run our
system.
country. But I was gonna say that Israel is technically America's only.
They're building
ally
giant
in the Middle
AI.
East.
They got a
That's why
giant
they're
fucking
living.
AI running
Yeah,
that
that's why
country
they're
now.
living scotch-free over in Israel with free health care. They don't even need to have jobs. Nothing. We're just paving the way for them while we sit over here. They're little slaves.
What are you talking about? What?
one perspective.
Not really.
That's
Not
Not
really.
really.
No,
What do you mean not
No,
really?
because-
it does happen.
No,
There's
Where-
plenty of
where
people
are
in the world with
dollars
money
going?
and power.
Yeah, that's gonna happen
There's-
regardless, whether we like it or not. It's gonna happen. It happens everywhere.
There are multiple
The idea is
factions
that-
of nobility.
People hide it differently. That's it.
The nobility are fighting each other.
Yeah.
And that's why they convince us to be mad
Yeah, and
at,
the Jews are
at
here.
entire groups. It's the Jews, it's the Christian factions of them.
Mhm.
Not just Jews, not just Christians, because guess what? We've crucified Christians too. You just said that. Not
think
just
that-
Muslims.
Yeah.
it's tribalism exchanges before at least a community.
I mean, that's true too. That is
But
true.
owls-
That's
but
the
Jews also
tenet
have more
of
money than
Judaism.
Black
That's the
people do,
tenet.
so they probably have more potential and more opportunities.
Is it like South America or something?
No,
But
the Vatican's in
no,
Italy.
I'm talking about the Vatican, the new Vatican. Yeah, but what race is he?
Yeah, it's an,
Oh, he's
when he's telling you guys to blame the Jews. Yeah, I mean, well, it's not just him. It's
Yeah, that's
you know,
the
people
Catholic. You're talking about the Pope.
who to make the plays, but behind closed doors, they're teaching an entirely different religion.
maybe.
Mhm.
I feel like in today's
I
world,
wouldn't say
it's really
that's
hard
wrong.
to do
I wouldn't
secret
say that's
society
wrong.
shit. And tell me a story. I bet somebody fucking tells a story. That's how everything gets leaked today's world. That's just how we are.
Yeah, so how?
Yeah, that's why we can. That's why we can have the conversation.
Sure,
Before
but
we
I'm
get
just
into
saying-
depth about politics, we're pulling away from psychology. Let's get back.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
saying
let's get
I think that women at third, fourth grade are getting their periods and changing, and that's probably why they're struggling a lot more at school than men or boys, whatever you want to call it, at third. We all
With this
see it.
technology that they've created.
We know it's happening. We didn't know it was coming. Most people don't. Most
I
people
mean,
still
I
don't know
feel
it's
like
coming.
in the last 10 years, we all kind of
Yeah.
seen that the AI and all this shit was coming.
They're distracted with the shit they wanted us to be distracted with.
And now they're taking everything out from underneath us.
I feel like less than they were. I feel like that was
Yep.
true more before, but like now with the Trump thing, he's like I said, you see it all the technocrats standing right behind him, hand in hand, lockstep. Well, I don't know. So if we do World War
Now
Yeah,
III,
it's
so
it's
like
gonna be
that's
now it's a battle of survival. It's a battle
Well,
of survival right
we
now.
got to get the United. We got the people in the people in the United States to stop.
shit all the time for no reason.
It's not just Israel,
They do it
man.
with us.
It's
Oh, I
They
know
do it
that.
with our money.
it's the Europeans.
Well, not as
It's
much
the
as it used
Europeans.
to. It
The
used to be
Muslims took an
European.
entire crusade. Exactly. That's the point I'm trying to
And it's
make.
not us that's
Just don't
repeating it. It's
go around saying it's just the Jews. Okay, it's the mentality that happens.
the,
It's the mentality that happens.
yeah, the mentality that
This has been a problem for fucking millennia. However, it's complicated because technically, the thing with
but
both
why is
sides.
it that they always take control of the banks?
That's not that's
They
that's
don't have control of the entire financial
really,
system.
I gotta say,
never
I have
did.
friends that are Jews, and I think it's useful to try and like change up the phraseology because when you say
It's not tiptoe. It's about not making a giant
about-
Well,
generalization.
general, yeah.
It's
You're not going to
Yeah,
say
being-
that
It's like saying all
every
black people
Jew
are fucking
is
killers.
responsible.
But you guys know which Jews I'm talking about.
It's
okay. So she
It's
doesn't.
not Jews.
And you got to make
It's
that
Jewish.
distinction.
There are
Because-
some.
I don't think it's like fanatic or like
Yeah.
this isn't euphemism treadmill. Because we talked about the euphemism treadmill where it's like we're changing the terminology as we go. We're making it softer and it's not that simple. Like, theists, I think that's good.
Okay, so
to
when
have
I
an
say the
instinct,
Jews that
but it's not
control
another term.
financial
Somebody's
systems,
another
what
term.
came to mind for you guys? Was it your friend that drives the Uber, or what? Or did you think about the people in
Yeah,
Israel?
I just
No,
I'm
you
Giving
have
that
a
name.
point.
very
Like you guys
Yeah.
know, like don't play this
That's how he
stupid
said.
semantic.
You're right. You're right.
That's how he
because
said.
we have to approach the situation.
No, I also don't think it's like the entire Jewish entity of itself. That I mean, of course there are things that open those doors, and there are people that. Okay, so it probably is like the situations that you see with white privilege, where there's just so many layers and generations.
We need to ask because if there was a reference that made us feel some sort of way because she said the Jews, we need to respond with a question. Hey, what Jews are you
Also,
referring to? If we're behaving in a way, responding in a way that's why we need
there's
to
a difference.
be able to clarify that. There's no difference because it's the exact same issue. The issue is that
There is a difference. There's a difference between just a regular ass white person and a super hardcore white nationalist. There is definitely a difference.
Sure, but in the way we were referencing it before, we grouped white people with just white people. We didn't say anything specific. So that's the reference she's referring to. She's saying that. Oh, what are we gonna label them? What do we label these people with?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but this should be
technically
like
the proper
I think
phrase would be
that term
Zionist
exists
Jew,
out there.
honestly. You are a Zionist Jew.
Or whatever. There are some
Also,
Jews
just
trying
a-
to do
just a-
that. Yeah.
just a quick thing,
No,
though.
but that's not.
I was gonna say, quick thing though. I just looked up like most of the board of the
Wasn't he?
Klaus Schwab. I'm pretty sure he's Swiss.
I don't
I'm
know.
pretty.
So, okay, can we at least say that they've had a diaspora, so
German.
they're everywhere? So to focus just on
Yeah.
Zion, true.
Like I said, I mean,
Or commit false or relative privation, but I think this is where it's useful to question where we could be introducing relative privation, or assuming that a certain group, like what specifically.
I mean, it's a good
So you're
attempt.
saying it needs to be expanded on?
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta talk about the motherfuckers in charge as individuals and as cultural icons or whatever, and as social concepts and all of it. It's
I mean,
not
if you wanna-
just
if you wanna be
one or the
technical-
other. We got to talk about the whole thing.
would you
So
say,
like ethnocultural nationalists, like
Sure, Elon. I was gonna go with Elon. Do you think?
Wait,
do you
what?
think that any Jew in the world right now is as big of a threat as Elon Musk, who's a white Christian, right? Who's a bigger threat?
No, what? Well, maybe I don't know because there's some
Elon's about to worth
subtleties.
$1 trillion
You know, like
himself.
what happens behind.
$1
I mean,
trillion.
you're right, but what happens behind closed doors that we don't know about? You know,
Well,
that's
we
the only
know
thing,
that
and I
he
can't
fucking
say if
he
it.
literally
I
bought
can't
his
tell
way
you
into
if
getting
it's
the government
exactly
to
a
fucking
Jew.
do what he wants.
Exact-
So like, we literally witnessed the richest person buy his way into the government.
I know he definitely has a lot of power and a lot of influence. He's calling some shots. That's what I was saying.
Well, like I said,
Sure.
he literally paid for a government position for 3 months and got to cut all the people he hated and enrich the people he likes. Like that is, we literally witnessed that. Like,
Do I
you
think
can't
billionaires should be able to do that? No,
No, of course not. My point is,
you shouldn't be
can't-
able to
I bet
buy
you
your way
can't-
to that.
I mean, I guess off the top of your, I can't think of any Jew person that's.
And he's
literally done
only a
that.
Christian because it served what he wanted to do. He was
Sure.
never a Christian before that.
I mean, I totally get. Dude, there's a whole new wave of fucking fake Christians. All these people, the Charlie Kirk fucking people, and the Nick Fuentes.
That's true.
They're all fake Christians.
It's a new wave and an old wave. People have been adopting these
Yep.
religious concepts as facades for a long time, and there's a good argument that the books themselves were written intentionally as facades.
Well, no. See, the thing with me, at least with the Bible,
Yeah.
it
Well, they
literally
said
gives you
mistranslations.
both ends.
Still.
It'll tell you to fucking rape and pillage someone and turn the other cheek. So no matter what, if I'm reading this,
That's insane.
it is insane. But I'm saying,
Very
but I could
controversial.
read this and then I could pick and choose. Like, oh, this one hit me, so I'm gonna follow that verse. You know, when someone argues about, it's the same reason.
Exactly. That's why it's so influential because it caters to everybody and it's based on interpretation.
Correct.
And if somebody knew that whenever they were putting it together, like Paul or the Romans, if somebody knew
Well,
that
it's
when they were
the
putting it
Council of
together,
Nicaea.
realized,
The Council
oh
of
wait, we
Nicaea
can
in
organize this.
364.
Yeah,
is
we
when
can
the Bible came
organize-
together. There was no Bible.
Yeah,
There was no
so-
conclusive Bible before 364 AD. Everything else, there was different sects of Christianity, and they had their own version of Bibles and teachings.
That we know of.
Sure.
They-
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, the books are scattered, and Paul wrote some new books.
but even Paul.
Yeah, those are a trip. I started to read some of the.
It is. And
Yeah.
not to be,
Although, I mean, so what I'm saying is like it's not just interpretation. It's the pressures of the sophistication, or the pressures of ideological capture, and the sophistication and complexity of these descriptions allow for a really rich narrative to be developed. Particular mental challenges, these kind of words. That's another topic, but yeah, this is like ideological capture is really a tricky terminology too. But it seems that it's just
It's like
very
a
powerful,
group.
it's enticing, and it gives you detailed descriptions of consequence, like what'll
It's like a
what'll
group
happen to you
interpretation.
if you don't follow it. Yeah, and like
Yeah, it's like a group
you know,
interpretation.
yeah,
And we
group
built our
technology is
civilizations.
cool. Yeah,
Well,
We
we're
built
all
our
exactly.
civilizations
tribal.
based
We're
on.
tribal.
They
So-
are.
Yeah, we built our cultures on.
And I feel like with one of our struggles with the Jewish is that they have an affinity for what they find to be familiar or a likeness, their same ethnicity. You know, they trade money with them. They had them at the meetings. They have a seat, and it just perpetuates itself.
Yeah, it's like interpretation, individual interpretation, and group interpretation.
Yeah.
And it morphs over time, and we tell, people are like, "Oh, this one's bullshit. No, this one's bullshit. No, we believe this." But before the Bible was put together, they were still talking about Jesus. He was still popular 300 years after, even before they put the Bible together, because there were all these stories. We're going to talk about Jesus. He was a cool guy or whatever. But it was a bunch of different stories, and it would say, "Nah, this story's bullshit." No. They used to say Jesus says that, but I don't think he even said that. And then you got the radio thing, right? Where it's like,
Yep, telephone.
fucking, oh, I heard Jesus said this. No, I heard Jesus said that. You know what I mean? And then once it finally gets to the guy who's writing it all down, he gets to decide what we're saying. And then the next guy who translates that from one language or one interpretation or one idea to another, he's going to say it a little bit different too, because it's going to help him decide what to do with his country, and it can convince them like, oh,
So it's like different because each one wrote the Gospels. Like one was for the Jews, one was for Romans, one was for these people. Like they all had their preferences of who they were writing it to try to convert people to their religion.
also, all this stuff doesn't mean that the Bible's bad, like inherently bad.
No.
It doesn't mean that people who talk about it and shit.
Detailed descriptions and narratives where it's if we look like and what hell is like and what beauty is like, and lots of philosophical concepts as well in there, and you have like theosophy and all that. Then you have the stuff that the patriarchal men put in there about how to beat your wife or whatever, or like in the Quran they talk about not being able to leave the house without your male partner or whatever, and that's really crazy for us now. But people still adhere to it so strongly because they love those narratives that are seemingly consistent. But when you really, yeah, I mean, it's
When ethics are hard, dude. Ethics are hard as fuck.
Morality. And
That's
shit.
why they have to be
Yeah,
they have to change every time, but there's core invariants that stay the same, and that's that it's almost like core principles that we follow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
And it's like a social thing, but it's also like there's some kind of objectivity going on,
I
or at least
disagree
we like
there.
to really think.
I mean, everything's subjective.
We at least like to really think.
So,
I don't know if everything in the world is subjective, man.
Well,
there's some things, there's some boundaries
I
that
just
we're
right
all
here, like this.
fairly confident.
Me and
A
you
lot
can
of people
see
are
and
fairly
me
confident.
and you can
We shouldn't
see
cross.
and do the same things, and we'll have two different experiences. So that therefore it has to be subjective.
I mean, objective, ultimately objective, maybe not, but like ethically, realistically objective.
I'm saying
There's some
there are
things
very
that
select
we
few
should
things that we're pretty
realistically
close
just
to being,
not
like,
do.
objective about. I will agree there. Like I would assume
Okay.
that was good. Everybody else thought it was wrong. It's subjective. Like it just depends, Like I don't know.
Well, it's a consensus, and the consensus does change, and the consensus also has to do with our. It also has to do with our perspective on whatever the social zeitgeist is at the time. Like I said before, at one point it was Christianity
We're in a
standards
fucking what's it called? I can't think of the word now. Fuck.
A spiral?
No, basically we're not.
It's a new zeitgeist.
we're in
The fuck?
a meaning crisis.
Poor decision making at the moment.
Well, that's kind of the same
That's
thing,
what
isn't it? Like we think that. I mean, I also think that's a big part of what we're facing, but I also think they're very similar. Like
Scale. We cannot scale at the rate technology is being shoved down our throats. We're at an impasse with where we are right now as humans.
That does seem
True.
I found the word. It was
What do we do about it? The stars, and we're onto what we're seeing now, and like how physics works and biology works. It's like the scientific enlightenment got reinforced and reinforced. Like once we had Darwin, he actually asked his wife to read his book Origin of Species, the only copy he wrote by hand, and asked her, "If you think I should burn this, it is yours to burn." And he left it with her to read, and then she decided to keep it. What'd you say?
Yeah, he could be very dark sometimes.
Yeah. But his other book, the Descent of, or what is it? Yeah, Descent of Man.
Yeah.
That gets at the idea of cooperation, like survival of the species that cooperate the most.
Yep.
That's positive. But yeah, we're figuring it out.
Well, yeah, in the social zeitgeist, that doesn't mean that we completely ditched all the rest of the ideas either. We're still using philosophy and we're still using Christianity.
Right?
We should ditch the bad philosophy.
Species and civilians and shit. Like we've gone past that point, right? We should.
I think that's true. I think that's true, but Aristotle didn't think it was true.
Sure, but Aristotle lived in an
that
age
shifted
where there was
over
slavery,
time,
and that was the norm and the cool. But I'm saying, so back then that was the normal and cool. Just be like, I could have 6 wives.
Well, some things
because we're still using
worth.
prisons as slave labor.
True,
so I mean, it's still happening.
I know, I understand.
It's just we're putting it under different terms.
Sure.
Yeah, we do it in different terms. It's done in a different way.
So I don't know. Is the
power
Bible
itself
telling us that it's going
working in?
Well, that's the other problem with religion is that it's crystallized. Like it says that yes, you will always have slaves. Yes, women will always be lesser than men. They will always need to be treated. And so, based on that assumption, we are instructing you based on this dogma going forth. Like that's literally.
It doesn't help the mentality, that's for sure.
So then how do we word it in a way that is, yes, this will always exist, but how can we do our best to expel it from our species?
We call it
It exists less and less over time.
So if you want to get
don't say anything like that. To be specific, religious texts don't do it like that. Because they don't update, and that's why we glorify science, is because science is always updating itself. Sorry.
We're becoming more egalitarian over time. It's a slow ass process.
I'm gonna say even with your prison guard slave people, right? even that analogy is not one for one because two things: A, you can't just beat.
It's not.
I'm saying you can't beat the guy that doesn't work, right? A, B, as a prison guy, if I'm the prisoner, I have to agree to do this work for $1 a day to hopefully knock off 2 years. Like I don't have to do it. I get served.
Kids are still being used as sex slaves in the United States at a massive rate.
I wouldn't say massive.
I don't
bet
think
it
that
happens,
it's
but-
gone away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we still have currencies,
I mean,
right?
What about all the
I
other
don't think it's
countries?
gone away either.
Paper.
Mhm.
If we look back at bartering, you had to be nice to each other because you owed someone something. So the currency is
No.
what changed that.
A little bit.
No,
but
that's not
much.
true. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. What happened was the guy with the biggest fucking spear got the fucking loot.
The power. Yeah.
That's
Might
it.
makes right. That's what
That's
the rule
it.
was. It was all might
Yeah.
makes right. That's why if you think about
Yeah,
like, back
it
in the
really
day,
wasn't.
Back in the
It
day, all
wasn't.
your great leaders
It looked
were
like
fucking military
bartering.
men. Like
It was bartering on the surface.
like Marcus Aurelius was on the front lines. Like that was your leaders back then because they were strong, fucking powerful men. Like they knew how to fucking fight because that was might makes right. But then we got. Once we hit,
But
like,
what
the
about
70s
gatherers?
I'm saying, but once we get to the
You
1600s,
guys have,
There were
but in the
there were
1600s, we switched to more, like,
egalitarian
warriors.
periods, and
listen. You have to also consider that it was the people who had the most. Because if you just say, "Oh, it's the people who had the spears and the people who are the strongest," that's, I mean,
No,
it
because
contradicts
to an extent,
the opposite
no, if the
side.
person with the most
Because
money had the
number
biggest
one,
army,
it
look,
changes.
listen. Why would
It's
someone?
not
need-
always who has the most.
I know, but
So
you have
a
to
lot of
think about
times
this
it's
though.
who's willing to
Why would
fight.
someone need a spear to begin with, and why would it need to be used against someone else?
dude, I'm
The
assuming
only
he
way
was-
you would want to
he was
use
killing each other forever.
if it had something valuable that you wanted, right? Because spears are meant for animals. So when you're looking at it from that
Or you.
perspective, it wasn't meant to kill unless number one, they felt threatened. And guess what? There's multiple ways of feeling threatened.
I agree
You can
with
feel
that.
threatened by, hey, this person has more than you. So we need to take it away from them, or else we're gonna starve.
Sure.
That's one perspective. The other perspective is, hey, maybe they're doing the same thing that you guys are saying, right? Maybe we're being threatened by people who have spears. Now they have to be able to reciprocate that.
Or you got to defend
But it's
yourself. There's a lot of things.
what we're saying is contradictory. Yeah, so we have to consider that it's both. It's not just one, right? Because depending on what lens we're looking through, we're looking at the same fucking issue, just different
Well,
perspectives.
there are also civilizations that were quite egalitarian, very artistic, agricultural. They didn't fight each other. There wasn't any civil war. They weren't trying to conquer any outside territory or anything. They were just minding their own damn business. And then somebody shows up, an outside territory, for whatever reason. They either got drove out of their homeland, or they realized that the land on the other side of the hill is like really fucking beautiful. We can take that.
Saying colonizers.
Yeah,
Spear.
you know,
Yes.
and
The core of it is
and
spear.
so the egalitarian people, they weren't training because they were living peacefully.
Yep.
So they're just getting fucked. They just get screwed. In the end, they're not ready to deal with these steppes people who live in
And
the
what did they learn
grasslands
from
who've
them?
been raising
What's the lesson they
cattle
learned from
for
that, though?
you know.
What's the lesson they learned from not being ready? They get ready, right? That's the lesson. So like,
Yeah, that's where we're at now.
We're talking-
And then we have
Sure.
mutually assured destruction.
but I'm saying that's been like 95% of humanity has been the latter. Like there.
Well, the problem is that's some bullshit, and we should be egalitarian, artistic, agricultural, and peaceful instead.
Sure, I totally.
That's the
agree.
problem,
We're
and
trying to
we
get
should
to
be
that
able to
world
come
where
back around to that.
It's hard to get to that world when
Yeah.
you have the
Well, we can't expect everybody to be at the same cognitive processing speed as
That's
us as
part of
well.
it.
We had
Yes.
that conversation a little bit ago.
Yeah, that's true.
And we
too.
can't expect every environment to be the same.
Yep. That's
And we can't
Yeah,
expect that everybody
that's
feels
nothing.
comfortable with that environment.
It's gonna be slow as hell, y'all.
Yep.
We're probably not gonna see it,
No, we're not.
Oh, we're
trying to make
but
it
we're
safe.
but we're
See it.
we're trying to help it. We're part
We
of
might
trying to
see
help
World
it
War
because
III.
I think that's the
I don't know
idea,
about-
is to make sure that we're
Only way we
continuing.
have World War III for real
World
is
peace.
if we go to
maybe.
war with Russia
I fucking
or
hope
China.
not.
See, the thing
I
is,
think we're definitely heading into it. I mean, otherwise Europe wouldn't be bulking up their military.
see, I think, yeah,
The dollar's at least gonna collapse.
yeah, I think that's happening next year or 27. I think it's gonna be like the 08 crash.
It's probably gonna.
Well, I'm thinking like the 08 crash that happened on when Bush was getting out. So I think that's what's gonna happen when Trump's getting
You know
out
what's
of office.
crazy? What if it happens in the same time frame as World War II, right? Like in the 30s when everything crashes.
That'd be nice.
1929
Well, okay, but let me tell you
October.
about-
What was it? October 29th, 1929.
Yep.
Let me tell you about the dollar. Let me tell you about the dollar a little bit though, because what's happening is China and
BRICS.
a few other countries
Yeah, BRICS.
have created
Yes.
like new currency,
Yes.
basically a new
Yes.
way of like sharing
Yes.
currency that's based on
Yes.
gold.
Yeah,
And
it's called
because
the
it's
BRICS
based on
countries.
gold, it's able to compete
Yes.
right with the dollar.
But you know
So
what- you know
because
why? But here's
it
here's
can compete with the
here's the bigger overarching thing. Why would countries stop buying American dollars? Why would you think that?
Because we're not worth anything
'Cause it's-
anymore.
No,
it's
here's why.
inflated.
No,
We're
here's
not.
why.
Yeah.
Because we are the world security. This is where part of us being the world police is kind of good at having bases shit everywhere. The reason why people trade with us is because we protect them. That's why. Now, if we start doing
No,
the
we've
isolate-
told
no,
them that we protect them.
we do though. Like honestly,
I
like,
I mean, I think that
nobody's-
that's the
nobody's
narrative
fucking
that
with
they
proving-
France.
push.
Nobody's
Do we
fucking
really
with
protect them?
the countries
Putin
we
is
really
proving
like,
that we don't.
the countries that we like. Nobody fucks with them, except for now.
We like Ukraine.
Trump doesn't. That's the thing. Even with Biden, we were helping them. Russia was losing that war when Biden was president, and then Trump. And that's what I'm saying. The new
NATO
wave,
likes
the
Ukraine.
new wave of being. That's what I'm trying to stress. Isolationists that we're trying to go back to with this whole MAGA movement is stupid because once we pull out and we stop protecting all these little countries that we're talking about, they are going to go to the BRICS countries because China and Russia and these people are going to go. Guess what? We'll protect you, and you can buy our shit. And when that happens, that's when our dollar.
They're already
actually
proving.
collapses. It's
They're already proving that that's going to be the case.
yes,
And
but it's-
Iran is going to get involved too.
They already are. That's the I in BRICS. Like I said,
Well,
yeah,
I
but they're
also
going to
heard-
get more involved.
sure.
I heard it's also like a
The
social
I is
score.
India.
Oh, I is India. Oh, Iran's in there too now. Maybe because BRICS was the original 5 countries. I think they're up to 9 or 10 right now. I think, if I recall.
Yeah, I'm pro
Hey,
BRICS
question.
over. Sorry that didn't. Go ahead.
Len, put your mic back on. Oh well.
No, I was talking over somebody on accident. Please go ahead. Was that you?
No, you're
Oh,
good.
okay. Well, I wanted to ask a question because you guys brought up China and gold. I thought they were more computing like a social score for people.
That too. They're doing that too, and in their country.
Yeah.
But they're also trading internationally
Yeah.
with gold-backed currency. But it's not exactly gold-backed currency. It's their own currency that you go and you trade in for gold, and then you can take the gold and you trade it into your country for your currency. But it's basically the same damn thing.
Okay, gold's really looking good right now. So if you can buy some, do it.
Sure.
Oh yeah, it's probably going to go up some more too.
There's 10 countries
Yeah.
in BRICS. Brazil,
Silver,
Russia,
too.
India,
Copper.
China, South Africa, UAE, Egypt, Ethiopia, Indonesia, and Iran. Those are your 10 countries right now currently in BRICS.
Yeah, it's a huge force now. It's not even
That's what I'm
like
saying. It started with
it's
the
not
5,
even the
and
big
it's
one.
gone 5 more. And my point is,
Yeah,
if America backs out and starts being an individualistic country, and we don't try to help the countries that we say we like, these people are going to come in and do what we're doing. Then they become the world power, and then aka the dollar collapses, all that shit.
yeah. It's just going to it would just turn everybody
Yes.
against America. Is what it would
Which
do.
is slowly happening.
Oh,
with
that's
this whole
how we're
fucking
already
MAGA
there.
movement. That's the point. Like that's what I'm trying to stress to people. Like how stupid when people are like we got to take care of our own and do this. It's like you're right to an extent. However, like we're global players. We got to fucking think about it like on a big scale. You can't just be fucking minute. You know.
I know. When did we become so small that we could only focus just on ourselves?
How can the richest country in the fucking world by like
I mean-
4 times say that they can't help other people? Like, isn't like the whole thing with the religion in general? Most religions is charity and being good to other people. So why is it that these people are like don't help people? Like isn't
Only
that
when it's
kind
a
of
good
core
PR stunt.
What?
Well, I think the other thing is we don't actually have as much control as we think we do.
Yeah.
And like I said,
What do
I
you mean by
think
that, per se?
Ukraine is kind of showing that. Well,
By purchasing power parity, GDP, we are still the leading richest country, but by purchasing power parity, which like looks at it, which basically removes speculating like BRICS and one thing that one of the major things that they're doing is de-dollarizing, right? They're selling their U.S. right now, and it cuts out the middleman of having to convert your currency into something else, and
Into
into
US
the
dollar.
dollar specifically, right? And so we've been sort of charging rent anymore.
All they have to do is
You know,
all they have to do is build up enough forces to collect the debt, or to say I'm in charge. And build up enough forces to collect the debt and say I'm in charge, and at the same time, like you're saying, facilitate this new global currency backed in gold, which people are happy to move back to because nobody likes the petrodollar. It doesn't work.
yeah, I think they're working on in BRICS. The currency thing they're working on is like a basket of goods type deal. Using like crypto and stuff like that. They're not really.
I lost him.
From what I understand.
I lost
Yeah,
him.
I
What
got
did
a
you say?
question.
Yeah, you
What
cut
did you
off for a
say?
minute.
I don't think the BRICS countries are banking on gold as the anchor for the new currencies.
Only
They're
40%
trying
is
to
gold.
figure out a digital.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's gold and
Um,
digital.
It's
I think
called
you're
the
right.
unit.
It's gold
It's
and
called the
digital.
pilot digital trade currency. It's called the unit. It is 60% national currency of cryptocurrency, and 40% of it's backed by gold currently. That's what it says.
okay.
I know that 93% of the world's currency is currently in digital form behind computers. Like it's not actually in physical cash or.
And that's gross.
I mean,
too.
that's
Oh my god,
there's a way to
guys,
look at that. But,
get along.
Abby, I wanted to ask you, man. Like you pay attention to China, I think more than other people. So, do you think that China is? Do you think they're being innovative and not giving into traditionalism in the way that America is and other countries are? Specifically, like the way that we're turning back to oil, like Trump's whole, coal and clean coal and oil, that thing, and then the denying climate change, and then the data centers we're building instead of trying to do what China's doing with AI. Like they're trying to be more efficient and do the structural optimization, like you see in the brain, instead of relying so much on just pushing water and energy into it with giant data centers like we're doing. We're like doubling down on that. Do you think it's pretty clear that they're doing that better than we are? But do you think they're doing that better than other countries too?
So
or do you think that's going to give them an
specifically
advantage as
for
well?
their AI approach, and I was listening to like some China hawks on this morning actually, and basically they're like their approach to implementing AI is very different in that they're not so focused on the mythical, AGI so much as like you said, like optimizing for Internet of Things and deep learning and all of that, right? These are all new quality productive forces that have the capacity to accelerate production and make things run much more efficiently. And so they are basically exporting this developmentalist attitude. But really, it's really not the attitude that they're exporting, it's the technological capability that they're exporting, because the developmentalist attitude is present all across the global south because they've been dealing for decades with underdevelopment under the Bretton Woods to like IMF, World Bank regime. So they're like, yeah, if you will help us electrify in a green way, and then you'll actually help us produce enough power that we can develop our own refineries and refine our own raw resources, then we no longer have to export raw resources. And so then, like, each country can sort of begin climbing up the value chain in a way that the enforced underdevelopment does not. And so now they're able to offer investment and finance and the technological capabilities to back it up. And so they are, I mean, they have more STEM graduates annually than anywhere else in the world. Obviously, they're fucking huge, but they're taking it seriously,
And better robots than everybody.
Also, China
Yeah,
is
where
a
are you?
global
Where are
leader
you?
in green energy. FY, they're like literally the top dog. They made what was it? They made 366 terawatts of energy last year. It's a fuck ton.
Yeah, I was curious when you were saying export to where again?
Probably countries around.
all across the global south,
Okay,
and
like a
especially the
certain
BRICS
climate.
nations. Yeah, well, no. So global south is more like a
South
it's like
Hemisphere,
a
basically.
geopolitical rather than a geographical designation. But so you could think of like, yeah, all of Asia, Africa, Latin America. These are like the global south, right? But we would say like Japan is, um, tightly aligned with the U.S., even though it's down there, right?
Yeah.
And Australia obviously is like a settler colony, so it's geographically in the global south, but it's considered part of the West geopolitically, right? So,
Yeah.
basically it's one way to think of it would be like any nation that has faced systematic underdevelopment. And so there are certain countries that have been exempted from that because of their geopolitical strategic like location, like South Korea and like Israel, things like that. They get
Australia.
major development.
Okay, so this is a little bit dark, but is this countries they could muscle?
What?
Yeah, pretty much.
China? China's huge.
Countries they can. Yeah, the global south is pretty much countries that it's pretty much third world countries basically, and they're mostly
Okay.
in the south. Yeah.
Yeah, so third world as a designation, it used to be first world was the U.S., second world was the Soviet, and third world was the non-aligned countries.
Yep.
And so now when we say global south or the west, or sometimes we'll say imperial core and periphery. That core and periphery is world systems theory, Wallerstein, and stuff like that. So, but it's getting at these geopolitical relationships of are you an advanced manufacturing nation, or are you underdeveloped, and or do you export raw resources and import food and medicine and machinery? And so that's why I was saying the value chain earlier, right? If you're kept at the level of only able to export raw resources, that makes you a reliable stream of very cheap raw resources.
Yep.
It also makes you have to import stuff that other countries make. Like we export a shitload of agriculture largely to countries that like we know need it because we have our thumb on them. It's fucking weird.
Yeah. So they've got the long game.
Yeah, it's like so what we're seeing now is the Western development model of banking loans has proven itself over decades to be a failed project. And so now China is able to go like, yeah, we got money and technology. What's up, baby?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
And like, do we feel like because they held so much for debt that we're kowtowing to them, to use the Asian term?
They don't hold that much debt.
To China?
They don't hold that much debt.
The main recent showdown was rare earth minerals. Basically, Xi put like a block on exporting rare earth minerals to a bunch of major U.S. companies because Trump ratcheted up the tariffs again. And she was like, okay, fine, you got tariffs and sanctions. We got the material products. Like, okay, fine, you can't make Boeing weapons if we don't sell these rare earth minerals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what that means then is that it's where our debt is not as strong as material
Yeah. Rare.
stuff that you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing I try to argue with people about, like
One
the American
major
thing.
reason the global south is. Sorry, go ahead. I've been
I was
talking
saying
a
that
lot.
I argue with people about this all the time with America in general. Is like being the raw resource, work your ass off kind of people, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So for
I
me,
don't know.
the
I
thing
mean,
I
is,
guess from a capitalistic perspective.
I mean, people that work for Amazon are not happy.
Well, I'm saying,
So,
like, even you, like,
you know.
would you want to work your fucking ass off, or would you rather work at a desk and get paid the same amount, right? Like, most people, I feel like, would
I'd
not
rather
wanna
work my
the
ass
manual
off because
labor.
I work at a desk now and
I-
I'm incredibly unhappy.
Sure. I mean,
Yeah, I hate desks.
The desks are, it starves you of movement of your body. It's
sure,
a
it has its
terrible thing.
negatives, but guess what? I mean, like,
I also don't want
you
to
break your
make.
back and do all that
I also don't want to be work.
to death.
Yeah, I also don't want to work in a dildo factory. I want to do something creative and free.
Sure.
Yeah, the desk isn't creative or free, especially with AI. I'll tell you that.
I mean, I get
And
that.
neither is a dildo factory.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
You could be pretty great creative with dildos. Have you seen people in their craft, man?
They look like Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, Dr. Seuss. Okay.
Sorry, I should have said apple slicing factory, apple slicer factory.
Yeah, that'll make it better.
Whatever.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not just jobs. People need to have a career. Everybody talks about jobs.
need to
No,
have
people need
freedom.
careers. Yeah.
Well, a career is one thing too. But,
Well, businesses need to offer careers.
Well, like I said, I'm getting to the
I
thing.
mean-
if AI does what we're thinking it's going to do, I feel like there's going to be no jobs left. So, like, I think we got to start talking about, like, UBI.
There
and
are
shit
going to
like
be
that.
no jobs. I mean, my job is already coming. I get thumbs up and thumbs down from an AI generator based on the language I use and the tone. I mean, it's getting to the point where there's no wiggle room. You're either going to operate like the machine or the machine's going to replace you.
Yep.
But the machine's going to replace you
So I'm saying
regardless.
that should be our.
Wait, what do you do? What does she do?
I do triage and then scheduling for a hospital.
That's a lot of fucking people. I know people that do
Yeah.
that shit. I work by a hospital, so I get a lot of them coming in.
Yep.
Super strict. Yeah.
Especially being the scheduler and shit. Like, oh my god, dude, there's so many people.
So, like the front
You should
desk?
see how many errors already happen with humans. Imagine an AI and getting one little thing wrong within the AI and how catastrophic that would be.
Yeah. Sure. So I'm saying to me.
Wait, but isn't the
it's-
error lower? Don't they make less errors?
That's what they
Yeah,
say. but
that's the argument.
when you
It
look at
depends
it
on what
in
they're
real
trained for.
like production, it makes massive errors and people are pissed because they can't get through because people for the AI to work, the people have to understand how the AI works.
Yeah, but
It depends on context, right? Like,
You're
So the
training
people
it.
who are
They're
scheduling
much
their
faster.
appointments for themselves online with the AI would have to know what they're scheduling. They would have to know what words to use, what things to click. And people
Isn't that what
already
you're
don't
teaching?
comprehend these things.
Well, I think
Well,
engineers
the idea
actually
would be it would take that away.
I'm sorry?
Well, that's true. I mean, like with AI as an actual assistant, it would just talk you through that. You wouldn't have to point and click at anything.
Yeah, I was gonna
But,
say,
I mean-
isn't that what you're teaching the AI to do?
Right
It
now,
depends
yeah.
on the context
Mhm.
of, like for the breast cancer thing where they detected breast
we
cancer
have,
faster
so
than any
think of it
doctor.
like surveys, right? When you send out
That's specific training,
self-reporting surveys,
Like,
people answer questions, and when you look at the answers to the questions, you can tell that they didn't even read the question.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I like to look at YouGov a lot for like that kind of.
You know what I mean? So that's going to be the same situation that happens with the AI.
Yeah.
Oh, you'd have
So
the
you-
voice, like, okay, but people don't want to invest in it.
Only thing is,
I hope it crashes and burns.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, that's what.
I sincerely hope it crashes and burns. All these data centers, I hope people light them
Do
on
you
fire.
know that data centers made up?
Yeah.
I think data centers made up. Like, I think it was like 80% of our GDP this last year.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Crazy.
Data centers are going to be the ocean,
Dude.
100%.
They are destroying our drinking water.
Which is whatever, right? The thing is, like, again, if we were smart like China, if you're gonna have these big ass data centers and have all this electricity and shit, why are we getting away from the green energy that is renewable that you can fucking bank on instead of fucking the fossil fuel shit? Like, at least with like China, like I said, they're leading the world in green. So if they build data centers, it's gonna they can neutralize their carbon print versus us. We're just gonna fuck it.
Yeah.
Which is also again,
Oh,
I mean,
there's
on
a
an
return.
economic scale, it's money. That's you know how many jobs were gonna be created by Biden's Green New Deal shit, whatever, with all the fucking green energy and shit. Like, it's a lot of jobs. People, construction workers, all. This
Yeah, but they don't give a fuck about that, dude.
Yeah,
They
they
wanna make
they
AI
really.
corporate
Biden did his
state.
best. He did. He tried. He tried to do that for us. I feel like I gotta give him
I
credit.
don't know if Biden was really with us.
No.
The
No.
first 2 years of Biden, when he did all the legislation, that was Biden. Now, like the last 2 years where he was more deathly, whatever you want to call it, I get that. That's, I mean, even if you look at his presidency, the first 2 years is when he did everything. He did the American Rescue Plan. He did the IRA. He did the Chips and Science, the infrastructure bill, and these were all bipartisan. I think he was really trying to do the best for what he had to deal with. Like, I don't know. I give him credit. I always feel like when history looks back, they're gonna look at him and see he was a good president, like a really good president.
What's bad is like we had a lot of green initiatives, but then like they just stopped. Like they didn't finish them.
Well, so
Yeah.
you're right. So like for like me, I got solar panels in my house. You know why I got them? Because the government gave me 30% off my fucking solar panels. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
You incentivize. Like I was trying to tell like my brother this. The best way the government can work is all they can do. I don't want governments to force things. I rather incentivize. So if you incentivize me to do the good thing by giving me 30% off, guess what? If every house can have their own solar panel, they can supply their own energy. So guess what? When you have your big fucking solar fields by like the government or whatever the fuck, that could be for the data centers and shit. Like there's a way of doing these things, but like we're just doing them wrong. I feel like China at least is doing them more correctly.
Yeah, well, what I'm seeing, like for example, and Carlos, I think he might have told me you worked on these, but like we have these giant solar panels on the border of Nevada and California, and now they're just sitting there. It's a graveyard.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have friends that they decommission nuclear plants.
See,
so
I agree with
like
nuclear.
now we're starting to pick them back up.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Are
What's
they
that?
building them underground? I think they build nuclear plants underground now.
Well, I think they have to look at what already exists, and then like there's some government contracts to kind of bring this back online again right now. So it could come back, but you know, you got to look at, you know, like what is the cancer rates for people to work on that decommissioned plant? You know, like it's, I don't know, it's like we go back and forth, and like at the end of the day, it's barely progress.
Question was when you say they're on the border of Nevada and
We should use AI,
right? Is this area populated where these solar panels are on the
No.
border? So
No.
I get what you're saying.
No.
It's a graveyard, but it's already a graveyard. So who gives a fuck, right? Like that's kind of the idea. Like when you have shitty land that nobody's gonna use.
Well, that's the
put
thing.
solar
Like
panels there,
nature
or wind turbines and shit.
Well, and that's the thing in this area. It's Carlos. Do you know? Is it Prim that you worked on those?
Yeah. I mean, one of the key issues is maintaining them, because you have to remember solar panels get dirty, and especially if they're on top of roofs, they're gonna get dirty, and that costs money to maintain.
I mean,
and then on top of that, like that's not even. We're not saying you. We're not. It's not just you. Like we have to consider the solar panel fields. Like those solar panel fields cost so much money to maintain. It's
miles.
The solar panels itself.
Yeah, it's miles, and then also they have the wind turbines, and it's all in the Mojave Desert out here.
And that costs a lot to maintain too, because you have to go all the way up there, and you don't just go up there with a helicopter. You have to climb up there. So it's not. It's the fact that the amount of load it's putting on a human surpasses the cost. And they're almost conflicting with each other, because now you have to find the people that want to work on them. They're not capable of working on them, but then you realize that it costs too much to pay those people. So but they're like, oh fuck it, we're just gonna scrap this until we come up with a better idea.
But why is
I mean,
but
it's
why is
it's a work
China
in
doing this?
progress, but
But why is China like a lot of other countries like?
yeah, China's finding a way better way to deal with that. I mean, you can see how a lot of their
Sure,
their
but
AI is focused on that specific maintenance.
Look at their train system, their subway system.
no, I get all that.
focus
But
on
I'm
the
talking about
menial
the
work.
energy. I'm talking about just broad energy output, like because that's what we need, right? Like because that's the whole Trump ordeal is fucking. We want to be energy independent, right? Like cool, but like why wouldn't you want to use the reusable fucking? It'll be cost efficient later in life. It's one of those like yes, it's expensive as fuck right away, but down the road it saves and makes the money that you fucking
Yeah.
spent on it.
We're literally a culture of instant gratification, bro. Like through and through, at all levels,
Yeah,
from the
basically.
people who only have $500 in their bank account to the people that have $100,000 a year and are living paycheck to paycheck,
Mm-hmm.
which is half of the country.
Yep.
To the people that are
But does it
billionaires, some
work?
people.
But does it work at a big scale?
Well,
Does it work at a big scale to compress it like that? To compress the gratification? I mean, we're calling it gratification, but like, you know, yeah. I mean, our robots aren't better, but our AI better? You know, maybe
I
not,
would
probably
say,
not. I don't know.
China copies all of our shit. Honestly, we
Oh, but
innovate,
yeah.
we innovate, and then they copy and make it cheaper and better, maybe. But they still use our technology to start with.
I mean, don't we do the same thing?
Yeah, but our robots
not
suck.
really.
Right now, we're
we
Tesla
are
bots
the
suck.
gangsters.
So you don't think we look at the Eastern civilizations work and
Well, our robots
their
don't
work and
suck
make it better?
So I
You don't
would,
think we
yeah,
do
we
that
look
too?
at their cultures and shit, but I'm talking about like the actual innovation. When has China ever innovated anything like solely them? First, they never
Well,
beat us.
I'm
in
telling you
any
right now,
race.
our
With
robots,
phones, with technology,
our
they never
robots
beat us.
suck. No,
They
I'm telling
invented
you right now.
fireworks. They invented the bow and or like not the bow and arrow, but I don't know.
It's not. We can't just think about it as
Everybody
Japan because we have to look at it from Eastern civilization.
I get that.
Eastern
has their
civilization
innovation.
has always been more superior, far more superior than the West. I mean, we
In
get
certain
half
ways.
our freaking scientists from Eastern civilization.
Well, they
I
come
mean-
here and get.
Wait,
they
China-
become
Yeah, we like
Yeah.
to take a lot of the credit, but we
Yeah,
just
we
steal them
can't-
out
we
of their
can't say-
countries.
You can't say that they're
I'm
not.
not
Yeah,
saying
everybody steals from each other.
You know, I mean,
Like China actually made the fireworks, and then we stole it from them to celebrate our Independence Day. To
Yeah, they
celebrate
both
New Year.
did.
well, not even that, but like,
They made the
isn't that the
No, go
American
ahead, you
dream?
go,
Though? The
yeah.
American dream is you're supposed to come here and be the best, right? Like, the reason why China doesn't influx any Muslim people that are great thinkers because they hate them, right? Like a lot of countries have certain hates for certain
It's
groups
the
of people.
pursuit of
They will
happiness.
not intake them, even if they are the smartest and brightest. But in America, it doesn't technically before Trump and all the dumb shit. Like, if you were the best at anything, you're supposed to come here and supply and be helpful to the country, right? Like, this is not a new thing.
I
That's
don't
something that
know.
should
I
be-
mean, I think it was. Well, I mean, yeah, I think that's the perception that we have of it now. I think that we did back then too, but there was also the pursuit of happiness and freedom and independence, and I guess that overlaps a lot with that.
Mhm.
But I think what's happened now is that we're replacing, a pursuit of happiness for what should be a pursuit of contentment and fulfillment is this warped pursuit of pleasure and happiness,
Well, it goes,
like instant gratification,
yeah,
because
it's big
that's
picture versus
deeply
small
defeated
picture.
into the capitalist model.
It's the big picture
It's
versus
'cause
small
what?
picture. I'm saying big picture as well. A person who wants
Oh,
instant
yeah, yeah.
gratification only thinks of the fucking corner pieces of the puzzle, versus the overart. The big thinker, thinks long term. They try to put all the colors to the whole piece. All the blacks here, all the reds here, all the blues here, and they try to separate everything and look at the broader picture instead of just I'm gonna do the corners. All right, I'm gonna do the next one next. One piece.
Okay, but also like you can add it up where like the instant gratification thing kind of got us like the best planes and the best, like all the best war shit, basically the most nukes
Really?
and all that kind of stuff. So
wouldn't say
that
it's instant
it's-
gratification. Those people probably failed a fuck ton of times before you got the one that we know, and then it got better, right?
yeah, but it was the pursuit of instant gratification that generated the funds
See,
to invest in those kinds of things.
Or it's really like what I can enjoy in my lifetime and fuck the next generation. That is what you see in Christianity too. I'm sorry,
I'm not saying it's all good.
Honestly,
I'm not saying it's all good. I'm not saying instant gratification is ultimately good, but I am saying we've used it to sort of our advantage as far as like we racked up $38 trillion worth of debt and we put it into these giant bombs that nobody can touch.
I don't know. I know if I'm playing a game of chess, I want to have a competitor and I want to not be threatened, but have someone that can really like
challenge.
make me go through my paces. Like, you know, like I enjoy a good competition. So I don't think it's bad that like we kind of have to notice them right now.
We influence our progression. We influence each other's progression and regression, unfortunately. Unfortunately.
Okay.
At the end of the day, I mean, without them, we wouldn't be where we're at now. Because if you don't have someone challenging you, how else do you know if you're going to get better?
Sure.
You need that. You need someone who says, okay, we're going to find all your flaws. That's how we know to get better. When someone brings out our flaws. I mean, we see that with people, with the way we interact with each other. It's like if someone has a weak point in what they're sharing with us, guess what? We're gonna bring it out so we can reinforce it in a positive way. It's how we grow. It's how society grows. We need that dynamic. Without evil,
Yeah, but that's different. That happens in different scales. There's a lot of nuance in what you're saying.
Sure.
You know.
Okay.
There's a lot of nuance in what you're saying.
I'm gonna try to go back to your chess analogy, right? Because you're saying chess, whatever, right? Yes, but if you, because the instant gratification person with chess would be like, I played 2 games and I think that I'm going to be the grandmaster of the fucking world right away, versus a person that realizes that they're going to fucking fail 100 billion times in order to get good at the game.
Yeah, that's another. Yeah.
Like you can't.
Yeah, but don't you think kind of humanity is at this point where we're all wrestling with the gratification that we seek on our devices?
Yes. Yes,
so I think we're kind of at an even starting point.
I feel like
Also, we're not the only country that's giving into the instant gratification temptation. China's also doing it.
Yes,
they got them lined up with. My turn. They got them lined up with fucking smartphones in Indonesia and shit these days. 80, it's like something like 80, 75, 80% of people have a smartphone. We're all instant gratification. That's how the world is generating income these days.
Yes, but
and it's not just gratification; it's stress. It's stress. Stress is good.
Yep, we need it.
You gotta learn to deal with it too. Yes. Being sad and mad are not necessarily bad things. Like it depends on how you deal with it. But like being sad and mad is a good thing because it helps you get over trauma or bad, whatever the fuck happened. You know, like none of these they're just things. It depends on how you use them.
They can be bad. Yeah. They can be terrible. The things that we're talking about can be used. They can be used for awful, terrible things, and they have.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and back to like what we were touching on, like, you know, Trump clearly has the U.S. agenda strategy. Okay, and like it's okay to like clean house, you know, get your shit together. But like you have to have another foot in the globe too, because you can't lose pace with who you got to be friendly with, you know, what that means world economy wise. I don't know, you know, it's just after Trump, we're going to probably lapse back to more global.
I hope so.
And it'll be okay.
Depends on who wins. But yeah, I mean, even in American history, right? In American history, right? When did America become the world power? When we became global. When we were isolationists in the 1700s and the 1800s, we were not the global player. We were just a player. Once we became global, we started to take care of. Once we started doing the Marshall Plan and helping rebuild fucking Europe and doing all this cool shit, the world's like, hey man, we're gonna look to you guys for our whatever, and then we became the global power. You know, like.
Well, yeah, but we were brand new, so like, what do you expect from a brand new baby? You know, you gotta consider.
Pretty sure that was a scam.
What was a scam?
The whole like, we're helping other countries.
Oh yeah.
Well, you can't tell me the Marshall Plan, the first one. That was the first time we ever started doing shit like that. That was literally us sneaking food into East Germany and shit to fucking help them live.
All right. Yeah, we were helping the Native Americans too. That's what we were telling all our people. We're gonna go help them and make them awesome and stuff. oh, they don't want to give us our land. That's okay. We'll just make a deal with them, a deal that doesn't work. And it doesn't work out for them, but they don't understand that. So we'll just take it from them because that's what it says in the deal. And oh, wait, you don't like that deal? Well, too bad. We're going to kill you.
Sure.
But we helped you.
But again, I would go back to
Okay.
back in the fucking 1700s. It was the world of might makes right. You had conquest and horrible shit. So to them, that was normal. I'm not saying it's
That's
right.
still the
Obviously,
world.
it's not fucking right.
That's still the world.
Honestly, we don't have conquest like we used to, dude. Like, you don't see countries popping up every 3 to 5 years. The last country recognized was in 2011, South Sudan.
Can't quite hear you, bro.
Huh?
Are you guys catching any of that?
Yeah.
He's breaking up.
We didn't hear you, bro.
Oh, I was saying that the last country to be founded was 2011 in South Sudan. So, like, countries just don't pop up. Like, back in the 1700s, I guarantee you every year there was a new fucking colony or country, whatever, being taken over by Britain, France, the Hamburgs, fucking whoever, you know, like.
Oh yeah, we show up and then we split up we segment the population. And it's funny because we'll put the country on the east side, right? We'll put their influence on the full west side of the country to the west of it, so that there's a little influence of the country on the east on the entire opposite side of an entire country. You know what I mean? So that when conflict arises, it's based on that tiny little section right there.
I mean,
and it can be pinched between the giant country on the east. That's what's happening in Ukraine. That's what's happening in Israel to Palestine. That's what's happened in not Uzbekistan, but the country Borat's from. My name is Borat. Yeah, that happened in their country. You know, it happened all over the place. They split up the territory so that it pisses everybody that's involved off culturally and socially, so they can continue to fight battles in that area instead of fighting, you know, big battles. They're fighting little battles in these little territories.
Yeah, right. But that's a safer world, right? It's not good, but it's a safer and better world than open fucking World War III and World War IV, World War V conquests, right?
It's what's like satiating people until recently.
Well,
recently.
Would you rather have mini skirmish little like Civil War fights versus a big battle with like China versus America or America versus Russia? Like, which one sounds like a better world?
Well, if we're going to talk about my preferences, in imagination land, there's no wars.
Sure.
No wars.
I mean, I don't think that's ever going to happen. I mean, in theory, for sure. We're humans, so I don't know if we can ever not war. I mean, even if you look at fucking like.
But as far as like, if we're looking at the straightforward, practical solution of what's happening right now, which situation was better when we look back in history? I don't know, man. Yeah, the smaller wars are probably easier, but whenever they're bigger wars, they just turn into cold wars these days because we have mutually assured destruction until recently.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, for sure.
That's been breached. That's the concern. So now it's like
100% true, but some people do argue that nukes actually have made this world safer because since nukes have been around, you don't have Russia versus America or China, or you know, like, because we know that if we actually go to war, it's a legit like we're all gonna die kind of war versus, you know, the mini skirmishes that we do.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's recently being breached because Russia's knocking into NATO territory. I mean, Ukraine isn't technically NATO territory, but it was almost NATO territory.
Yes, that world could be toppling. Yeah. That world could be toppling, and I'm personally blaming Trump for this because if America wasn't the isolationist trying to be whatever, if again even what Biden was doing, just give him money. Because the thing is, Russia couldn't beat our 90s 2000 weaponry. Like, dude, imagine we were giving them like our good shit, dude. They'd be fucked. Like, and that's what we were going to be doing, but we changed presidents, and now it's not an option.
Yeah, but we're not really being isolationists. We're being like, hey, fuckers, it's us. we're kind of forcing the world to be like, hey, you fucking notice us and you play with us by our terms right now.
Sure, but
we're not being isolationist. Yeah,
in a way, but the world is saying fuck you. So
Are
like,
we? I didn't, but we backed out of Ukraine.
But I'm saying Canada's tourism's down like 80%. Fucking, we literally have not traded with China all year, which is our biggest player. So like, we are literally getting away. Our allies are starting to talk shit about us. Like all these things that should never be happening in America or to America is happening. So like, we are becoming more secluded from the world. We're trying to.
But I think the globe understands, like, once Trump is out, it's gonna come back.
They hope. But again,
if Trump is out,
say, not even that, but like, what if JD Vance somehow wins the next one? Like, it's the same shit, right? Like,
that's basically Trump.
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, so there is a world where this doesn't end, and there is
argue to say it'll be worse because it'll be hidden.
No, honestly,
I think he's smarter.
JD Vance is way smarter. He can actually do politics versus Trump, who can't do politics. Yeah,
I think he'd be worse.
He would be,
you know,
worse,
but in the
if
fact
Trump
that
pushes
he
for
can do
a
more
third
damage.
I'm agreeing.
Then Trump can push for a third term. He might do it.
I know.
He might come up with some excuse
Oh yeah,
or
he's
reason.
definitely. Do you know how many dating profiles I go by on the internet where guys have in their fucking profile Trump 2028, and I just want to reach across the screen and shake them. I'm like, do you?
Well, it's birth control.
It's birth control, right?
Yeah.
Should be.
But then, you know, and that's the thing though, because like I'm sitting there and I'm like, all the people who are smart enough to have kids, who have the ability to raise kids who are resilient, are the ones that are not having kids. So we're kind of leaving behind an uglier world.
Well, yeah, because sadly,
that has happened so many times.
Are the ones that have the most kids.
We're descendants of fucking psychopaths. We're descendants of fucking psychopaths. I'm sorry, that's the truth.
Dude,
we are.
I mean, that's not false. I mean, in our primal state, we were all psychopaths.
Dude, we were hunter-gatherers like 10,000
I'm not a psychopath. Yeah, man.
Figure out how not to be a psychopath. You know, I think the reality is, as long as we're going forward and we're leaving a space, or we're leaving an opportunity available for how do you call it, for improvement. I mean, I think that's the best we can do.
Yep.
As long as
but you know how much family systems curate people. I mean,
dude, it's your first culture. It's huge.
I have a kid. He might be screwed. I don't know.
I have kids, so, I mean,
I don't have any yet.
You just try to do the best.
Gonna be 32, so I don't know.
I'm 31.
You got about 3.
Yeah, I think it's a little different for guys, but girls, once
women.
they hit 30, it's almost like the guys don't want anything to do with you anymore.
I'm not even talking about. I'm saying, like, isn't it like 35, 36 is where you should like?
I need a
have
new
kids at that point because it's like unhealthy for women.
It's considered a geriatric pregnancy once you hit 35.
Yeah, it's highly offensive once you're 35.
Is it offensive or is it like unhealthy? That's what I'm asking. Is it like bad for women?
It depends on your. Yeah, it depends on your self-care, because honestly, like a 35-year-old's eggs are going to be in different shapes, even though it's like towards the end of that time.
Yeah.
You gotta freeze them if you got freeze
Yeah.
them.
Zoom.
I need a new baby mama.
Next to me is
looking for a baby mama.
My neighbor next to me is being a surrogate mom right now.
I don't like my old baby mama. I need a new one. I don't want a new baby.
Better get your shopping cart.
I'll tell you what. There's some men out there who I can't pay child support. I'm not gonna lie. I can't promise I'll be there all the time, but I'll give somebody a baby if they really want one.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yep. Because I'm broke as fuck. I can't even pay my own support.
That's how you don't have kids. Wear a condom. Boom.
Or just put MAGA supporter on your profile and it's all good.
You'll be
What do you mean? You guys are saying you want babies, then you gotta have money. You gotta have money, and I don't have any money, so then you gotta have money, right? Somebody's gotta have money to have a baby. It ain't me. I'm just saying.
I get it.
So.
Yeah. No.
But also, guess what? Here's the thing: you don't actually need that much money to have a baby, because the government will help you.
Less than it was.
I don't like thinking like that.
They do.
I know that's faux pas. But guess what? We need kids.
to me, like, wouldn't so like honestly, so if you're the government, right?
Why?
Wouldn't you, well, I'm
What do you
saying, so,
mean?
I'm
We
telling
just
you right
talked about how the whole world is full of psychopaths
now. No, I
because they
understand.
take over
No,
everything.
I'm
They're the
talking.
ones that have kids.
No, I understand. I'm talking about so like if I was okay, if I'm the government, right? I'm the government, right? It'd probably be better for me to pay money for that kid to be like not hungry and whatever, right? So it can become a productive member of society and fucking work a job and pay taxes. Like that's the job of the government. The government wants tax money and revenue, right? Like that's the main issue.
Yep.
So like
That's why the government will help you raise a kid.
that's my point. Like, and people get mad at it, but it's like, as a government, that's what you would want. You want to help that kid succeed, so that kid become productive society member.
Exactly. It shouldn't be considered. It shouldn't be considered a faux pas. It should be considered a
Yes,
duty. That's a
what
duty.
I'm
That's
talking
what we're
about.
here
Yes,
for.
I agree.
It takes a
100%.
village.
Yes, that's what I'm
I
getting
think isn't Trump saying that there is a birth tax thing right now?
at. Child credit.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, child care credit.
Yeah, he said it's going to be
I
the
didn't hear.
biggest tax return you've ever
two-
seen in your entire
you got it. You
life.
got it with Biden. Put it in 2 years ago.
I mean-
so he's just doing the same thing. It's you get an extra $2,000 tax write off for your taxes per kid. That's what it is.
Yeah, but that's not all. That's not all. They'll also help you like get housing, and they'll also help you with like maternity leave and like
she's
all
talking about
kinds
the
of
one
shit.
specific thing. She's talking about just the child
Open
care
housing?
tax credit.
Yeah.
She's just.
But
talking
don't
about
worry,
the-
they've cut all childcare funding.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. No daycare.
Yeah, that
So
doesn't make any.
forget about months 12 and beyond.
It's the whole abortion
Yeah,
thing.
I
They
mean,
care
you
about being
can
born, but
you
they don't
can
give a
get
fuck about
that. I
raising
don't.
you,
I
right?
mean, there are still programs to get that outside of the government too. You know, I'm just saying you can
Sure,
raise a
there's-
kid if you really
yes.
want to. You don't have to. I'm not telling
Oh, for
anybody
sure.
that they have to.
No, nobody has to. do
Yeah.
anything.
People don't think. Yeah. People don't think like you're thinking.
It's easier than you think. You can be broke as fuck and have 5 kids right now. I know
Sure.
people that do. That's all I'm saying.
But I will
Yeah.
also say though, how many people?
They'll live.
I bet a lot of people would still feel shitty, like on a personal level, like even though they could still do it or whatever. But like, you'd probably be like, I don't want to be fucking scum of the earth leeching off the government. That that kind of whole mentality, like, because like I always say,
Can't hear you, bro.
People think that people want to.
Yeah,
be
you're
Can't
dead
hear
now.
you.
Oh, not again. I'm saying people think that people want to be mooches, but they don't. So like, even if you have the opportunity to have kids
Mooch.
and the government's going to help you, you might not want to do it because you don't want to feel like a leech on the system or government, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, no, that's something people need to start getting over. I'll go to a food bank. I don't care if I need some food. Who cares? I don't give a fuck if I look poor, if I act poor, if I am poor. I really don't care because life's not about money. Life's your job is not to go sit at a fucking desk. We already agreed. That's some bullshit. Your real job is shit that has to do with your heart and your spirit. Shit that matters. Shit like this kind of conversation. Shit like raising kids.
Sure.
That's
It could
what
be- it could
matters.
be
That's your real
it could be a
job.
lot of things. It could be
Preach, brother,
sports.
preach.
Yeah, man. It could be a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to raise kids, but like I said, stuff that has to do with the heart. That's really what I'm trying to get at.
Sure.
But kids are definitely one of those things.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, yeah, you should, no matter what your passion.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
but-
I don't like me myself, I'm optimistic about life, but if I were to have a kid, I think that switches to a more dark place right now.
In some ways, I just
You
try
think
to,
it would
I have
be,
kids,
like,
I just try to
really-
teach
it would
them-
make
I
you
just try to
really
teach them right
think-
and wrong, and teach them like when I hear them talk about like the other day, like they were talking about something with like Hitler. I was like, dude, do you even know who the fuck this person is? Like how bad they are? Like just try to tell them like when people tell you these dumb things, you should actually look into like what they're saying or what they're preaching or talking about. Like it's not what you think it is, man.
Yeah, but I think Mel is saying she feels like the world is headed to like a bad place,
Sure.
and she would feel even like worse
Yeah, I get what
because
Yeah, well-
she has a kid headed into a dark place. Is that what you're saying?
It is, and like I can't even compare my life to what their life might be in like 20 years because it's so radically different.
Mhm.
Like, I'll give you an example. Like, I thought I was going to work at universities for the rest of my life. But I saw the beginning of them censoring people to death. And I was like, this is not higher ed. Like, I'm gonna peace out for a little bit. And like, I don't even think I would encourage my kid to go to college right now.
Yeah, I don't even know, honestly. I mean, I tell my kid like it's a decent option, you know, and then there's like a lot of stuff to learn there, and like if that's what you want to do.
Nothing is more
Honestly, like,
valuable
I
than
don't.
learning a good trade.
Yeah. But I mean, you go to
Yeah.
you can go to
Yeah,
college and
that
fucking
that can be
become like an
useful.
engineer or something.
That's what I did, but I did a trade, but then I got injured, so now I'm fucking disabled. But yeah, so
I'm gonna run away to the forest.
there you go.
Or
Yeah,
build
let's start
myself a house out of logs, man. I'm gonna do it.
yeah, let's
It's a great way to lower your living standard.
dude.
And I'm gonna write you all letters about why I feel so lonely when I've isolated myself.
Joining the red pill.
It's just
I'll
me,
get
the
the
birds, and the
PO
bees, man.
I'll get you my PO box.
Thanks. It's just me, my 3 cats,
Yeah,
and my
first-
dog.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
Yeah,
like
first-
while you have kids, I mean, like, don't you just like talk with them about like, dude, it's changing so much. Like, I'll do the best I can, but then like, I don't know, dude.
I mean, I just.
Oh, yeah, you're
whatever
not
they
in
talk
charge of the
about,
whole
whatever,
process.
It could be about
Sorry, your
sports,
wallet.
I'm saying it. Whatever they want to talk about. Like the thing is, when I find like when I like sometimes like I'll listen to like what they watch like on YouTube or whatever. That's when I'm really like, do you even know what the fuck this guy's talking about or what he's like? And then try to talk to him like then, like because that's the world. That's the thing with today's world. It's not. I mean, partially is who they whatever hang out with and talk with, but it's usually what they're watching and learning online. Like, so if they got a bad structure of what they're learning online, I'm assuming that they're gonna learn bad in life. Let's say or whatever you want to call it. Like if I were to find out that my kid was watching like Nick Fuentes videos, I'm gonna definitely talk to him about what the fuck he's about, right? Like that's the shit I'm talking about. Like that's the difference between like kids, like when we were kids versus kids now. Because like I said, it's right there on the internet. You can literally go down all these rabbit holes of fucking, I don't know, fucking nuclear bombs aren't real, Earth's flat, whatever the fuck, like.
Yeah.
That's a shit. Like if I listen to anything that sounds stupid like that, I'm like, well, come on, bro. Like let's talk about this or let's think about this or whatever the fuck it is.
I don't know. I just get too overwhelmed to be hopeful for them.
I think that's the difficult part of
I
being.
get what you're saying, but like the thing is, so like, like parents thought like Elvis was ruining fucking the devil in the world, and then it was like Judas Priest, and it was like this is nothing new. I feel like every generation has their moment where like the world's fucking ending or changing, but the thing is, change is always going to happen. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Like it's it's what you make of it in general. And
Have you seen the kids nowadays? The kids are they have this heart in them. They challenge anyone.
Sure, it's a good and bad thing. Like it can be bad. Like they should listen to the teachers and shit more. However, teachers also shouldn't just have fucking free sway to say and do whatever the fuck they want too. So it's a double-edged sword. Like.
I mean, we said that about what we went through, right? But I mean, at the end of the day, as long as there's balance there, I think we're good.
That's kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe for me, I can only speak for me, but like the nurturing part of me, I feel like that would be so compromised trying to raise them that I would be medicated like 24/7. And then like, how am I as a mom?
Honestly, if you think about it, technically just based on their life expectancy alone, they're going to have double the life that they should have had for centuries and thousands.
I don't think they're going to be living that long. I really don't think that the quality of life is going to go up here. I think it's going to go down.
Yeah, that's
the quality of life is better than it's ever been.
We have more people living stagnant lifestyles, which is just it's so
in
against your heart health and your. I mean, we're going to be put into positions where the human experience is going to be so limited that it's going to actually reverse our.
Listen,
if we don't
you're
fight
not even
against
looking at
this stuff.
You're not even looking at the basic things that we all take for granted. I can turn this light on and off. Yep. It's magical. It is. There's like so many things like that are very basic that are such great quality of life improvement that we never had. And
well, I mean, our parents had it. I mean, I don't know if your parents were born in the 1800s, but
no.
And the quantity of life, and it's not just the quality of life; it's the quality of life and the life expectancy are all higher than they've ever been, ever. Despite the fact that yes, we might go into fucking World War III and all die, But guess what? That's always been the case. That has
I'm
always been
pretty
the case.
sure the
Mm.
life expectancy for millennials is less than their parents already.
I mean,
Yeah,
listen,
that data is
Right,
not
but
so
it's
good.
still double.
well,
It's
how do you
still
know that? How
double
many
what it
millennials?
was in
It's
in
the I
1650.
think it's the obesity, and it's going to get worse because we're living such stagnant lives. I mean, we
Yeah,
sit
we
behind
don't.
these screens.
Yeah, we don't have it figured out. Nope.
Well, you guys don't have to have kids, but
I'm gonna,
there are plenty of reasons to do it.
well, I'm going to try.
Good. Good.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. Oh, I mean, how else do you extend your bloodline?
Exactly.
I mean,
I don't
honestly,
think
really
that's
I
that
got to be a
important.
good
stuff
Catholic
personally.
girl, you know.
But
I
it
gotta
is.
be
It
a
is. If you
military.
think about it, it is
I know what
too.
you're
That's. I
saying.
mean, that's a.
It's a core
Yeah, it's a
principle.
very important.
It's not that important.
I don't believe
Mm.
it's important
I
personally
think
because
it
we
is
have 8 billion
important.
people, but I get your point. Like some people, it is really
Well,
important. I'm
you
not
have-
gonna lie.
Between my grandma and her 3 sisters, they had 27 children, and now I have 40 first cousins.
Sure, but guess what?
The
Again, that
the
world's
main
over. We're
thing
not living in
about
that world no more. The world of fucking women staying at home all day, just popping out kids, and the man working by himself and having a one job fix the whole house. That shit's over. That shit's not happening ever again. Women go to college more than men, and they get better degrees than men. Therefore, they are working way more and making more than men. So that's the other big problem is that men don't know how to deal with women having money. Like they want women to fucking do all the chores of the house and make the money versus what it was before where the man made the money and they did all the chores. Like it's not the same world. We're never gonna
They
get
want
I've
dinner to
seen
be
that.
on the table at 5
I have
p.m. when
seen
they
that.
get home,
you know? I'm just
even
saying
though
but that
she's
world's
getting
not
home
coming
at 6
back.
times.
That world's never coming back. I just don't believe. Some people are trying to make it, but I don't think it'll ever come back.
The trad
I
wife.
think it
So
will
you
in
see the
small
trad
talk.
wives online.
Sure.
I was talking about this with a friend before I got on. Like you see the traditional wife or trad wife,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like wealthy people that have a large country farm with lots of
Yes.
acreage.
Yep.
They
Those
already
are
have the
only
product
people that can
behind
do
it.
it. Those are
That's
only
what's on social media. I mean, there are still small like intentional communities that have these
sure.
things where the women support each other and the men work
See, that's
together, and it's a community that
Mhm.
truly works together to.
That's what I want to encourage to people. But when I do, I keep running into ableism because people who have support needs and all these things, they can't just go to a commune.
Mhm.
And I've lived in those communes myself, and it was amazing. But it's like
Yeah.
the process of lowering your living standard is just really, we're so distant.
Mhm.
There's this term evolutionary displacement.
Yep.
We're very distant from that.
Well, again, it's like
Our
you,
roots.
you care about your family first, and then you care about your cousins next. You care about like your coworkers third. You care about your your neighbor next. Like the further away it gets from you, the less
Yeah.
you care. In general, that's how humans have kind of.
Some people feel that way.
I would say 95% of people. Like
Especially in the West.
it's just like you were saying. It's evolutionary. That's how we.
Well,
You can't get.
No, it's everywhere.
You can't be sad about every single individual like on a like if you cared about like the kid that died right the second we're talking right now as much as like your mom dying, you would fucking be in trauma and all this horrible shit forever. You would never get out of it.
Why I can't watch the news.
That doesn't mean it doesn't make that doesn't mean it can't have an emotional or dramatic effect. That doesn't mean you can't feel it
It
emotionally.
does affect you, but it affects you way less. That's kind of the whole point. That's what I'm getting at. Like
No,
you're not
that's not true. That's not true, dude. I go through. Listen to me. It's my turn. It's my turn. I go through my whole life.
It's my turn to speak now.
I go.
Mhm.
I'm holding the
Apparently.
stick. I'm holding this talking stick. I go through my whole life
I'm letting you
with
speak.
the intentions of trying to help people in those kinds of situations and trying to resolve issues
Mhm.
about those kinds of situations.
Yep.
It doesn't have anything to do with my relationship with my mom. It has everything to do with the relationship I have with the kid who's dying right now.
I get that, but I'm saying if anybody that you cared about the most were to pass away, I'm guessing you're gonna have a much bigger and different reaction than the person that died. Because like right now, the person just died.
No, it's not bigger. That's what I just said. It's not bigger. My
Well,
reaction
it's
every
subjective.
single day is
Wanna
to
say-
work for that kid that I don't even know. And yes, I care about my mom, and yes, I would have an emotional reaction in an immediate sense. And yeah, it would feel something different than the emotions that I have towards the world. But the impact that the emotions that I have towards the world are much bigger on my decisions than my care for my immediate family and directly my mother. Because I'm not working for my mother, I'm working for the world.
Got that right. That's
Yeah,
exactly.
this is one where everybody.
That's exactly what I'm doing. If I'm gonna put something out there, it's gonna be to change the world. It's not gonna be just to change my family. Like
To help somebody.
Like expecting people to adopt those ways of thinking.
It's painful.
That's a process. That's yeah. It takes effort. It takes different ways of going about that for each person too. I think that's kind of what Brian's getting at.
But some people don't look at it that way, and they're like, I only care about my mom, or I only care about my family. I don't see anything past my own picket fence. But that's because they don't see anything past their own nose.
I'm saying that's what we're trained to think. Like that's embedded in this culture more so than others. But that's because we're new. Lots of reasons.
What do you mean, the like thinking that we're better and smarter and wiser? And is that what you mean?
Yeah, individualism, basically, and
Like
there is some
like the
superiority.
selfishness.
Yeah, there is some superiority involved in that for sure.
Is
And
that what
selfishness,
Polymath
yeah.
was saying? Is that what he was saying?
No,
I think so. Something like that,
no.
kind of.
For me, this is about sanity. I can only be in charge of myself. And so if I think I can even begin to change the world, like I've lost touch with my own sanity.
That's the really defeatist attitude.
But I'm an optimist.
Yeah.
No, I really get
Well,
you now. I get
I can
it
name
because-
I can name thousands of individuals who had huge impacts on the entire
true, but 1,000
world.
is not anything to fucking 9 billion.
Okay, but you're also having an unavoidable legacy merely by existing because of things like the butterfly effect.
I will say
and
you have more rights now than ever before
psychological
because of the internet. Because like all your shit will be on the internet forever. So actually, you have more.
Yeah,
like
you can't avoid it.
Well, I'm just saying, like, how many people? I bet nobody here can name their fucking 5th grandpa. That guy had a legacy, but nobody knows about it. 'Cause it was before the internet. Nobody, know who reads about their ancient.
It doesn't matter if anybody knows about it because it's in your heart. It's in the spirit of society and in humanity and everybody that guy interacted with and everybody interacted with people who interacted with him.
Yeah, I mean, but we all have our own. We have our own ideology about like who we actually are going to impact and influence. And I just think you have to be in touch with your own sanity limits within that.
No, you have an unavoidable. You have an unavoidable influence. It's unavoidable, and you can have even more influence if you do it with intention. You can have so much influence that you can entirely dominate countries as one man.
Yeah, I don't suffer that.
I'm not saying that you should.
When you have that mentality, it's about influencing the people around you. It's not, hey, I'm one person and I'm going to take on the world. It's, hey, I'm going to be the one person I need to be in order to make the change in the world. And guess what?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a ripple effect.
You don't have to take over the world to be a good person and influence it in good ways. That's my point.
I think we're all saying the same thing, just from different angles.
Yeah.
We're also talking about like this whole conversation's been revolving around the relative privation effect, or that is like a fallacy, and we're trying to figure out like where we're being privation or like so privation means like the Latin is, it goes back to St. Augustine talking about privatio boni, and like the privation of good is like he conceived of evil as the privation of that which is good. So all is good, everything is good in the world because God made the world and everything in existence. God is good, so all must be good, and evil is that which is simply the privation of good. So yeah, like what are we taking away? Like where is the good lacking here? Like we're all in an existence of predominantly goodness, if you want to go at it from that angle, and we're just debating at what levels that goodness should be or is lacking and where it isn't. And the problem with this causality thing, like it's not really a problem, it's just something that we have to teach. Like that you are inherently embedded in the world, you're thrown into the world. Like Heidegger's thrown us and the butterfly effect, where everything you do and everything you don't do has consequences. So we have to wrestle with that, but we aren't taught how to wrestle with that. And like that's my issue here is the U.S. doesn't teach that in its schools. Much of the West doesn't know how to teach that. The more embedded and deeply ingrained cultures that you see in Eastern or like relation regulated communities, they seem to have that. They have a kind of a understanding of where to place their resources and place their efforts, and how to bias themselves wisely, I guess. But yeah, I gotta get ready for bed though. It's a great conversation. You guys are awesome. I'm gonna keep this rolling though and just listen. But it'd be awesome. Also, just remember to keep the open-mindedness, and we're all coming at this from different angles. But you guys are doing the good deeds. I appreciate you very much.
Oh, no problem.
Sure, man. Have a good one.
All right.
Well,
Yeah, I think we influence the world in our own ways, and I think by just doing what we're doing now, I think the idea is to not become stagnant in what we're doing. We try to progress in our career fields. We try to progress in our own lives, personal lives. I mean, and that's we're going to create a society that can progress by doing that, right? Because when people see us doing that, whether it's our children, our nephews, nieces, cousins, they look at that and they're influenced by it.
mhm,
I mean, for me, that's how it is, at least.
mhm.
I hope that when I'm speaking my wisdom or sharing my intellect, I'm inspiring people to do something better.
Mhm.
'Cause that's what you want. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how humanity survives, by sharing, by sharing a piece of you. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as you're doing
Yeah,
that
and you
right,
know,
you're stepping out.
it's eudaimonia again. We're talking about basically, but what you're saying is right. You do want to have some influence on the world, some positive influence on the world. It can be at different levels, and if you're really truly convinced that what you're doing can be beneficial, you can just talk about it a little bit or whatever. But like you can also take that too far and turn into Julius Caesar, where you think your whole you got to put yourself on the coin and you got to become the king, even though you're not supposed to have a king, and all that kind of shit. Where you get too overzealous. You don't want to be too overzealous with like trying to influence the world because it can definitely backfire. But you also don't want to just sit on your hands and let people fucking treat you like shit, or stab each other in the back right in front of you. Do something.
And be aware of what's changing. On the definitely. What's
Yeah.
going on here?
Yeah.
And there was
There's always
silence.
been shisty people. There always will be. I mean, that's always the crux of the position. Like, you're never gonna live in 100% pure,
Yeah.
like moral fucking like we all agree that these things are wrong. We never do, because there's always gonna be inequalities or whatever the fuck that push people to do things or opportunities. Like we're having with all the fraud case shit. It's like it's opportunity.
No,
Yeah,
like
but we can also take positive. We can take positive
Sure.
steps for us.
Always.
Preparation plus opportunity equals success.
Sure. That's kind of what I was getting back earlier with like the past civilizations. Like, you should throw all the bullshit that they thought that we know now are stupid, like I said, like the slavery or whatever. Like, you throw all that shit out and you take the good parts of it and you keep building off it. It's a building block and you keep growing as a civilization.
Exactly. And nobody has all the answers.
Of
We're
course
not going to solve it all perfectly.
No, not at all.
But we're going to get to some cool places, and there's some interesting shit's going to happen.
Man, the thing is, the idea is always that you leave the world a better place than you got it, right? Like, we came into this world with fucking, I don't know, it depends on your age, but like Cold War shit and all this other shit. Like, hopefully by the time I'm out of here, this shit can be solved and we're a better species in general overall.
Yeah, or at least did I add enough value? Did I add more value to people's lives than it could have taken away?
Sure.
At least. Did I add more value to people's lives than I could have taken away? You know what I mean? Like I made the choices to add value instead of destroying or detracting their life, making their belittling their life. Yeah,
For sure.
conscious because you have to make those choices consciously. And sometimes you got to consider just the person you're sitting in front of. Sometimes you got to consider the whole damn world. And it might not even be that big of a fucking choice.
Be something small.
Yep.
Yeah, but it might take consideration of literally everybody. And if you do it well, we can move forward in ways that they help people out, you know? Because it's like you put more positivity in the world than negativity, then you played your part. And it doesn't have to be more dramatic than that, you know? And the chances of us getting to perfect peace in our lifetime really low. You know, we haven't done that for like 200,000 years or some shit. So it's like, let's not beat each other up for not getting it perfect. But also, let's try our best. Let's try our best.
Agreed. Oh, I'm gonna get going too.
Oh, yeah.
It was great talking to you guys. We'll do it again soon.
Love you, Carlos.
Yay.
Later. Bye.
Later.
Yeah. I just wish people would realize that most of these things are super complex. Like, I think people are, again, it comes back to the instant gratification kind of shit. It's like, we want simple, like, one sentence answers. Like, that's what honestly, this is where MAGA is great.
Oh, yeah.
They fucking do the simple, like, here's the answer. Deport them all. Or, you know, we fucking hate these people. Like, that's it. That's the answer no matter what.
That's
Here's
what
the
MAGA
answer.
is.
Which parts are stupid?
Yeah, just saying, like,
Yeah, man.
we're predisposed.
All of our problems
we're
stem from them.
predisposed to being like, oh, that's the answer because it's simple, it's catchy, we got it. Like, instead of being like, man, these things are
Their
really
narrative game is
complex.
fucking.
These things are complex as fuck.
Yeah.
You know, like.
You know what? It all started when we gave women the right to vote.
Honestly, what I blame, you guys know about the fairness doctrine, like in the 80s. I think it was Reagan, but like it became where media outlets didn't have to tell like factual truths. They can do like their whole "I feel or think this way" kind of thing. You know, the opinion-based shit instead of evidence-based shit. You know, I think that's the beginning of the end of us.
No, it was the printing press.
What? I think that's like
No, maybe it was
ever.
maybe it was the lie. Well, here's the thing: the printing press is just an extension of the lie.
What do you mean? It just prints. So like,
it can all print. It can all print a lie. All of it. All the media can print a
Sure,
lie.
but who writes?
The printing
it?
press
And
can
before
print
we
a
had
lie.
written lies, we had verbal lies in the churches.
Yeah, the town crier can call a lie.
Everybody can lie. That's always an issue. But
So was the beginning of the end was when we began?
always, yes.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
I mean, like, that's why I was trying to preface.
The first
people, like,
conversation.
you can look at apes and shit right now, dude. They fucking fight and do all the shit we do. Just
They have wars with each other,
they
actually.
do. Chimps and orangutans currently.
Apes are fucking crazy.
Sure, it's awesome though. In a
So
way.
are we. Have you been on Reddit?
Yeah, we are apes.
I know we are.
We're apes.
You've been on Reddit, yeah.
Rest in peace, 5 week.
Yeah, there's some people that are fucking wilding out, dude. Don't worry, they're everywhere. I mean, yeah. I mean, like, the whole like I always use Nick Fuentes, those people, the gripers and shit. Like, I don't know how people follow these people and think they're getting like good lessons or moral, whatever the fuck, you know. Like, it's just crazy to me.
Yeah, we're like really starved for leadership in a good way.
I wouldn't say
You know
it's a
which
good way,
apes are
but, yeah, I
fairly.
hate it. What'd you say?
Which apes are fairly. The
Orangut-
apes that are less crazy. Bonobos.
Bonobos, yeah. They're
Bonobos
they're like our third
are
cousins.
pretty peaceful. Yeah, they're like pretty peaceful actually. They don't like fuck with each other that much.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean they do sometimes, but not as much as humans and not as much as orangutans. All that shit.
Yeah. bonobos are cool, but yeah, chimps and orangutans are entering the Neanderthal stage of evolution, like currently, like as we speak. They're making like war plans and
Yeah.
shit. So
Make it more.
they are. They'll fucking send like
Beautiful.
They'll send like 2 retarded monkeys out to get surrounded by like a whole group, and then they'll surround them and like with spears and shit and kill them. Like very primitive ass war plans, but they're war plans.
That's
It's
straight
kind of
up
like
crazy.
when you play video games with your friend that has no clue what they're doing and
Yep.
you use them as the bait.
Yep, that's basically what they do. Yeah, that's what they do. They're like, we know that he's gonna die.
Like,
so,
no, man, go ahead, walk out there.
Yep. Take on that army. Okay, boss.
I like the bartering for sex.
Who's doing that?
Bartering.
What is that?
Yeah. Yeah, they figured out like, you know, if there's some kind of prize and they offer it to a female, she's gonna reward
I mean, that's been
the mate.
That's, like,
you know?
that's the woman's.
So they're prostituting.
Well, I'm saying that's the woman's oldest fucking.
Oh
rule in the
my
book.
God, is that where it began?
Probably did, honestly. I mean, think about it. They got like what is it? What is it? Silverbacks that have like the harems and shit, where they have like 6 bitches on them because they're the fucking dopest, and they'll kill people over being the dopest. Like, it's wild.
Gorilla harems.
I think it's gorillas that have the harems.
Oh God. That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, folks. Sounds like we fucking got it all figured out. Everybody else.
What? No, I
Everybody.
have more questions than answers now.
Yeah, it's silverbacks. Silverbacks,
Just-
they have usually up to like 6, 7 women always on their side. Crazy.
Yeah.
But again, if you want to go back to like the monkeys, like
Yeah,
the
it's-
thing is, he's the strongest and biggest and baddest. That's why the women follow him. That's why the men follow him, and the men that don't follow him, they
Yeah.
get killed. You know, or one
Yeah,
of them
but I
gets killed and
think
they-
I think
I'm saying that's
I
our
think
DNA, though.
bonobos
That's
are
it, like, that's in us
matriarchal.
as humans, though. Like that's still in us. Like that's
Yeah.
still part of us.
Yeah.
It's hard to get that part out of us. That's
Yeah.
like, really what we have to do, but it's gonna be almost impossible. I don't know how, but it's something. But like that's the issue.
Yeah. And I think
but I think bonobos are matriarchal.
Sure.
They follow the ladies.
Yeah,
and there are
but
other
listen-
animals that are like that.
So I think what happens is the female feel like she's not in a point of scarcity, so she's able to reproduce easier. So I think that's how it works on our end.
That's why we became a single woman fucking versus many women. It's easier to knock up a chick. If I fuck one chick 500 times, I'm gonna knock her up versus fucking 500 chicks one time. Like that was like the evolutionary reason why we became single mate people.
Yeah.
Really?
And then
Yep.
just for us, if our dude's like a dominant dude, he's got the shit in order, we're gonna reproduce a lot easier because we're not stressed out.
Sure, that makes sense.
Like you might conceive, but you also have to be able to carry it the whole
Sure. Yeah.
time too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the more your body is under stress, the more likely you are to miscarry.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that may have. I feel like it's like the dominance thing may have like been a factor when we were still monkeys.
No,
But
it's
we're not like.
still in play. It's still in play.
It's very
Oh, you
much.
think they're like legit? You think they're like legitimately like alpha males? There are men who are legitimately alpha male, smarter, better,
Not
stronger,
but they're way stronger.
more
Not
valuable.
smarter. Yeah.
Everything but the smarter.
They're
I can
smart
see.
in the role that they're supposed to
So what's the
fill.
what shows you that that's the case? They have money or what? They have
Not necessarily.
muscles,
I mean,
car,
I work
what?
at a bar. And I
No.
see dudes come in with different chicks every weekend or whatever the fuck it is, because that's how they are. They're alphas like that. Like,
Okay, so they
If you're
So they're
talking about
people
on
who
like
sh-
a war stance,
so
like
the people
who's-
who show up. So there are people who show up and they say, "I have big pecker." What?
I don't know.
no, those are all like trivial things. I think it's more of a, are they willing to take that risk to dominate over? You know,
Also, are they willing to be an asshole? Is that
Yeah.
the
Some of
question?
it.
Well,
Well, that's a
I'm gonna
that's
drop
a
the word
dumb
asshole and
qualification.
say they're
Sure,
more on a
that's why we're trying
primal
to get away
side of
from that, though.
noticing danger.
It is
That's a
dumb.
dumb qualification to consider someone's superior. Calling that person an alpha is wrong because technically they have a mental
Well, we're the
disability.
ones
Well,
that
to
put these
society.
titles on these
Yeah, I'm saying
words, right?
society.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say
I
necessarily they
didn't.
are, but I'm saying, and I agree with you, like overall. But I'm saying society doesn't agree with us in that sense. Like these people, like there's this one dude. We always call him Barbie Matt because he's like a beautiful dude. He's got a good money, all this shit. He can literally do whatever the fuck he wants, and everybody will follow him because of the money, the looks, the everything. You know, big muscles, all that kind of shit. You know, it's not right.
But when it comes down to actually fighting, he can't.
Yep, I bet he can.
I mean, none of that matters. Like all that's superficial.
In a way, but
No,
we're
it
saying
does.
it's still ingrained.
It
It's
does.
still ingrained in our DNA. Because
No,
we-
it doesn't. I'll
it's-
tell you why it doesn't matter because
It
guess
does
what?
in our
I have-
modern world, but we still have
no,
like
it doesn't.
I think it's always mattered.
Everybody answers to a bullet. Everybody answers to a bullet.
Sure, but
okay, but who got? I mean, Elon Musk is a good example of this.
Yeah.
He got to
Of
buy out our
what?
government to change policies to
Mhm.
assert dominance over our politics
you know,
with his money.
he didn't have a single
Look
shot.
at him.
Okay,
He's not
that
an
doesn't make
attractive
him an
guy.
alpha. That doesn't make him an alpha male or a human that's better than anybody.
say-
That
We're not
just
talking
makes
about
him an
better, we're just
asshole.
saying-
Society, yes.
Nobody's saying these people are better. I'm saying like these people are I'm equating these people to the fucking silverback monkey. That's the male dominant. Like these people get more what they want because of the way they look, the money they have, and the physique, all that kind of shit. Like it just is.
We're
true.
talking about people who generally have lesser empathy. Maybe not empathy, but lesser.
Yeah, empathy, care, whatever you
Um,
call it.
They don't care.
Yeah. We're not saying it's good. We're just saying this is
We're
the
not.
way it is.
Yeah, it's not to say that it's good. It's just.
A thing. It's happening.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're
Yeah.
coming from the stance of
Well,
like
they're
these
not-
alpha
they're
males
not
that claim that they're alpha
they're
males
not
on the
alpha
internet who
male.
are like, we're better.
They're not.
But no.
They're not alpha males. Alpha male is not a real thing. I don't know why. That's my point. We got to
It
change
is
this
a
term. They're
societal
not
thing.
alpha
I agree
It is
males.
with
a
you.
thing.
It's not a. It's not a thing like as it's not a rock.
They're not
Like, it's not a
alpha
thing,
males.
You're right.
They're assholes.
Sure.
They're assholes. They're narcissists. Call it what it is. Stop calling it this
Not
bullshit.
necessarily. I
Call them
met
asshole.
people like that who are actually good people too. It doesn't happen a lot. I agree. Like it's way less, but there are people. That's like any.
And you're not talking
play
about the
their
same
roles
thing.
too, though. I mean, they play
If
their
you're talking
roles in
about a
society
confident
as well.
person, if you're talking about just a confident person who's like charismatic and having a good life and enjoying himself, people like him,
Uh-huh.
he likes people. That's not a fucking. You know what people are calling alpha male and all this shit. That's just a dude.
I would say it.
That's
alpha
just
I
a
know,
male.
but we're
dude.
talking about alpha male in its literal sense.
Yeah, I'm saying like. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're talking about alpha male, silverback gorilla, this and that. That's an asshole. That's what that is.
Sure. I'm not saying it.
I
isn't.
know
That's why
because
we're
I
saying it's
can-
not a
I
good
Yeah,
can be
when
an
you add
asshole.
morals and ethics and stuff like that to it.
Isn't that what an alpha male is? It's like somebody who's saying that they have superiority
Well,
and
when you-
superior
I mean-
eudaimonia when they have superior outlooks on
I would
ethics.
say
They
that
have
everybody
superior.
is an alpha male and an alpha and a beta, whatever you want to call it. I would say this shit is a spectrum. When it comes to
I don't
certain
fuck with that. I don't think I'm
situations-
superior to anybody.
No, because no, you can be. The thing is, if I don't know, it depends on what you're good at per se. But like, if it came down to a situation where you knew what to do in a situation, it could be whatever, and someone else doesn't, you're gonna take the leadership role. You're gonna be like, no, this is what has to be done. That's technically being an alpha.
Yeah,
male.
but
You're a
that doesn't
leader at that
scale.
moment.
Well, there's
It
men
doesn't
that
scale.
you
That's
scale
have
to
that work the
value.
operations, and then there's men that you send out on the front lines. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, the vanguard of the fuck.
Like
yeah,
about-
the vanguard.
Both are good, but one is the one that goes out and like fights is right.
Yeah. It's all about protection and like scarcity.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
as we get triggered into, so this is what I was using AI for, which I'm still strongly against AI, but I was looking into latent activation of the amygdala in men versus women. As a society becomes, as people perceive a society as dwindling into scarcity, in the way that women respond versus men, and men respond with dominance and resource hoarding,
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yep.
And women
Well-
women respond
Empathy.
with community and like trying to create community and superstition.
Mhm.
So that's where you're
Okay,
getting
but
kind of like your
but I try to create community and superstition. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't think it's like the gender role thing. That's what messes me up with this conversation.
but I'm talking about specific science here. I mean, this isn't about your feelings. This isn't about this is how
This is like primordial primitive man. That's
this is
still in us.
literally how our brains are structured in the amygdala.
It's in your DNA.
Yeah.
You can't help it. Like it's just you. Like I said, you go back 50 generations ago or whatever the fuck. You know, like you don't. That shit's still in you partially. It's somewhere in your body.
Okay, but
Like
okay,
they were
look.
showing that
But,
the
okay,
women's left
here's the
brain,
point.
the left
Here's
side
the
of the
point.
amygdala is larger
Mm-hmm.
on a woman than on a male, and the right side is larger on a male than it is on a woman.
Okay,
And each
here's
play
the point
different
I-
roles.
Here's the point I want to make about the alpha thing, and then we'll go to neurology and brain and stuff. Men and women or whatever. But like, I'm a soft dude. Okay, I'm soft-hearted. I'm very sensitive. I'm extremely sentimental and stuff. But like, that doesn't mean that you can fuck with me. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
just
That's
because,
exactly what we're saying, though.
yeah. Just because someone is putting on or saying that they have the confidence, some kind of
Sure.
confidence or some kind of alpha thing or some kind of willingness to dominate, doesn't mean that they will.
No, that's why I'm saying
Yeah.
it's a spectrum. Everything's a spectrum too. Like that's what I'm saying. Like in certain situations, you might be the alpha because you're best to run that area or that thing, and versus other things.
But you
where you're
just
not the best,
said
you
you
can
just he literally just proved it. He said he's not the one to fuck with, right? So
Yeah, that doesn't make you an alpha male. That makes you the best at whatever the fucking circumstances.
but that
If you're the
means that
best
you're
mechanic.
expressing the way that you would take control of the situation. Yes, dominance
That's making
over
you
the
alpha.
situation
Yes, that's
if
No,
needed.
it's not dominant. It's not
But it
dominant.
is. Don't
If you're
fuck
the
with me,
mechanic,
or I'll
no,
dominate
listen,
over
it's
you
my
and
turn.
control the situation.
How about leadership? It's
No,
leadership. Leadership.
No, I'm saying
Leadership.
I'm talking about
Instead of
what
dominance,
I'm talking
use
about what
leadership.
Wally was just saying. Don't call if it's leadership. Yeah, exactly. If it's leadership, don't call it
I
dominance.
never
Call it
called it
leadership.
dominance. I'm not using that word.
It's yeah, well, okay, then don't call it alpha male because it's not alpha male. Because when we're saying alpha male,
Alpha
really
means
what that was
leader,
referring to is
like,
people
probably,
being
like,
assholes to each
literally.
other.
Pretty sure
Nah,
alpha-
dude, the whole philosophy of alpha male came from fucking Andrew Tate. I don't know if you've seen his
No, I
philosophy
know his
shit,
dumb
but it's
shit, but yeah.
terrible. And motherfucking
Yeah, I don't.
yeah, and
he's retarded.
Jordan Peterson and all and
I know.
these and a bunch of meatheads
Sure,
that
I'm not.
they've been
yes,
feeding
I
us for the
agree. I'm
past
not.
10
I'm not
years,
using it
telling
like they
me
use it.
that it's
I
a good
agree.
idea to be alpha.
I'm not using it like they. I'm talking about
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the literal sense of being an alpha.
Okay.
Like, you're the leader. You're the best to do something. You're the best at something. That makes you an alpha at the one moment. You might be a beta at the other because you don't know how to run something. And you're like, I always say like.
Okay, but here's the problem with using the terms interchangeably. We're talking about two different things. So don't
I'm
call it
not.
two different things. I mean, that's
I'm
the
not
way I
personally.
feel.
I'm sticking.
That's the way I
I'm
feel.
telling. I'm saying I literally just told you what my definition is, and I'm using it exactly the same way the whole time. I'm not using it in any other way, personally.
I know, but if you're using the word alpha in a social context in the year 2026, right after Andrew Tate just got his face punched in, we're talking about assholes. That's what we're talking about. If you want to talk about leaders, call them leaders.
Well, sometimes a leader
Nah,
is an asshole, right?
I'm not on board. No, I'm not
A
on board.
leader,
I'm
a
not on
leader
board.
and an alpha are not the
I'm
same
saying a
thing.
leader can be an
An
asshole.
alpha male, quote unquote alpha male.
A leader can
No.
be
All
an
right, tell
asshole.
me.
Okay, here's what's up. I think everyone has some of this in them.
Mm-hmm.
And then there will be circumstances where it will present itself and you will use it. And you have to be really judicious when you do use it, but we all have it in us.
Mm-hmm.
That's leadership. That's just leadership. That's not alpha male.
No, but
That's what
I
I'm
could
saying.
I could be a total dick
She can be an alpha
and be an
female.
alpha.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
saying,
not
I'm saying I'm
alpha.
just using
That's-
alpha as a phrase. I'm not saying alpha male. I don't even use those two words ever together because we're not talking about that specifically. Like if we go to that route, then yeah, we'll be talking more shit about it because alpha male, what it means today, is stupid. I'm talking about just the alpha being the leader, being the top dog in a certain situation. in sports worlds, they
There's-
call these
that's for
motherfuckers
dogs.
captains. It's a captain of the team. Sometimes they're fucking pieces of shit assholes. Sometimes they're fucking cool ass dudes. But in the end, they're still the captain. They're still the alpha of the fucking team.
No,
Yeah.
alphas for dogs and alphas for Andrew Tate followers.
Sure, but
That's what we've established for the
what's an
past
alpha dog?
10 years.
What's an alpha dog?
It's
Yeah,
some
the
bullshit.
apex.
It's some shit.
Apex.
It's some shit
Apex.
that you're not a dog. You're not a dog. You're a human.
No,
No, but we're
no,
saying
I
what it
don't think
means.
we can say that. I'm saying there's some real dominating, animalistic, primitive, primordial stuff we still have in us, and if we need to summon it, we will bring it.
Mhm.
There's no getting
It's always
around it.
there.
Okay,
It's
but
always
what?
there.
All right, but that's not alpha male shit. Because guess what? If you bring
Yes,
that
it is.
and another
is.
motherfucker brings it harder, you're gonna get your ass kicked. Doesn't matter how alpha you think you are.
Guess what? But then you,
No.
but then even then,
Yeah,
even then, in
and
the
that's
hierarchy
that.
of society, you're gonna become more the beta, right? If you were to fight, if two dudes get to fight in
Listen,
my bar,
there's always
if one dude gets his ass,
there-
whooped,
listen.
guess what?
No,
Everyone knows
there's
who the
always a
tougher
bigger,
person is,
badder
right?
motherfucker. There is always a bigger, badder
Sure.
motherfucker.
No, there
always.
is the
And
apex.
everybody answers
There
to a
is
gun.
there is
Everybody
always one.
answers to
There'll
a gun.
always end with one motherfucker who's actually the toughest.
Yeah.
No, that's bullshit.
No,
That's
there is an
bullshit.
apex.
Even the champ. No, there's not. Even the champion loses his belt.
Usually when he gets old too. It's usually not when they're in their prime.
No,
Not
it
always.
happens after like 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah, but they're out of their prime then. That's my point. When they get older, then a young person gets into their prime and they become the best because they're in their prime. LeBron James
Yeah,
can't
but
be
they're
the best
not
basketball player for
Are
his
you
whole fucking
saying
life.
Apex doesn't
and they're
exist?
also
in
not
your eyes?
necessarily the. They're also not necessarily the best because not
Your
everybody
eyes.
is competing. And I'm still talking. Hold on, my turn.
Mhm.
Not everybody is competing in the competition. Not everybody has the opportunity.
Sure.
But I guarantee you, somebody could kick whatever the guy with the belt ass is. There's somebody out there that can kick his ass. He's probably in special forces,
Maybe.
but he's not fighting for the belt. But it looks like that guy's the champion because all we get is our perspective.
I mean, like if you want to go like UFC and shit, dude, like that person, whoever is like the heavyweight champion, I bet that person can beat 99.89.
These are coordinated fights, though. We're talking about in actual survival.
Yeah, she's talking about primitive. Like I said, it's in our DNA.
They-
That's the whole point. Like
They all answer
We're
to
talking
a
about
gun.
primitive
Anyway,
things, and so be
they all
wise.
answer
As
to
Mel
a
was
gun.
saying, do you believe in Apex then, or no?
No, I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I think intelligence. I think intelligence, and I think physicality, and I think everything consciousness about everything about being a human is incredibly multifaceted and nuanced. And there's no reason to sit around and talk about who we think is the best because it's a bunch of bullshit. There's
Yeah, but
plenty
we're
of people
saying
who make. There's plenty
we're
of people
saying
who make giant differences in the world that you will never hear of.
for sure.
I think we're saying the same thing. Because
What?
I think
No,
we
you're saying there's the best. I'm saying there's not.
no, if we're talking about humanity, we are the apex.
You know,
No, we're not.
Okay.
what's
No,
better
we're
than being
not.
a human on Earth right now?
Everything in the ocean is doing way better than we are.
Where they can literally just die right
Oh,
now. Like
okay.
some
They can
people-
Yeah, we're
literally
not-
They can literally do whatever. No, listen, my turn. They can literally do everything they want. They've existed for longer than us. They're going to continue to exist for longer than us. We're probably going to blow ourselves up. We're not the apex. There's all kinds of subtleties and nuance to
Sure.
being animals and to being plants
I have a s-
and maybe even to like being water and being rocks
I
that
have a
we're
simple
never going to
question.
understand.
Has a fish or a whale ever caught a human?
No, you're talking about fucking
I'm saying we're the
I-
apex. 'Cause we can eat them.
whether or
We
not.
we can hunt them. We can do things.
No, you're
I gotta
talking about
log
whether or
off
not we
here.
can physically.
But it was great talking to
You're
you
talking
guys.
about.
All right.
Same.
Okay, have a good
Good
one.
Have a good one.
Good night.
Bye.
Yeah, you're coming
Yes,
at
sir.
it with a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
I
no, you
was
guys,
using
you guys are
the
coming at it with a conventional perspective that says that you think we're at the top of the food chain. We're not at the top of the food chain.
Well, I would say who hunts us?
Nobody has to hunt us. There are plenty of animals and species that are going to outlive us.
Are we sure of that per se? I mean, I get like that's the sentiment, but
Yeah, they've been outliving us. They've been outliving us. We've
Oh,
only
no.
been here 200,000 years. Homo
as
sapiens.
our current form, but we've been here for billions of years, technically, just like them. We all come from the same exploded star, so
Right. So why are we going to make some kind of comparison and say that we're at the top?
well, because
We're the apex.
do you
We're
not
the
believe?
best.
So what's the
It's a bunch of bullshit.
Who in the world is the apex predator?
Fuck an apex predator. We exist together.
I understand we will exist together, but that's the whole idea. Like, guess what? If humans didn't exist, the apex predator would probably, I don't know, not even lions. I don't fucking know. Like polar bears, maybe? You know, like I don't know what would be the apex predator if it wasn't humans.
No, that's a bunch of bullshit. And the dinosaurs weren't the apex predators either. Guess what? Because plants were around before the fucking dinosaurs. And there was all kinds of fish around
but
before the fucking
did the
dinosaurs
plants
too.
eat the dinosaurs, or did it go the other way around?
Well, actually, yeah, the plants did eat the dinosaurs because the dinosaurs got fucked by the dinosaurs got fucked, and the plants
Okay.
outlived them.
Well, maybe aliens could be our apex predator. Maybe.
Mayhaps.
No, they're not a
No?
predator. They're not an apex predator because you can't because value is not like that. That's not what meaning is about. Meaning isn't about who can fucking conquer who. That's a problem that we have in society and civilization is we think meaning
We're saying that
is
we're
about
basically saying
who's
that
at the
it's in our
height.
DNA. It's in every animal's DNA. Like it's hard. That's why it's hard to break away from it. That's why it's hard to get people out of thinking and feeling that way because it's literally been millions of years of this in our DNA. Like I said, every 29 generations ago, that DNA part of it is still in your body. And
Well, this feeling stems from the fact that we have to destroy life to maintain our own. And that's something that we've been doing.
I'm digging what you're saying, but like we were talking about humanism for the longest time there, and then we switched to a whole nother realm. And I'm just trying to like figure out like what are you talking about?
What am I talking about? I'm talking about the question became
It was about alpha male.
Are humans better than the rest of Earth? Are there specific humans that are better than
I'm not
other
saying
humans?
they're better. I'm saying that we are the apex of the world. Like we're the ones that can change landscapes. We're the ones that can change the ocean. We can change everything on this earth. No other species on Earth can do what we can do. That's why we're the apex, predator, apex, whatever.
I mean, there's stuff that we can do that the other species can't do, and that make us responsible for those species. But there's shit that the other species can do that we can't do.
Sure, but they can't dominate the world like we can. A dolphin can't be fucking taking over Iraq.
Yeah, they can.
A dolphin can't.
They
take
can
over
totally
Iraq.
dominate the world, bro. Listen, all we have to do is fucking press one button, and every human dies.
But also,
Or no, you have microbacteria. The microbacteria, we could have a virus outbreak and wipe out the entire human species and all others.
Not just humans. The thing is,
I mean,
whatever kills humans is probably
that's
going to
the
kill
argument.
other mammals at a minimum, if not more things per se.
They'll outlive us. They will outlive us.
That Brian's making is that I don't feel very much. We're not the alpha species. We're not. I mean, there's lots of arguments to show how we could wipe out other species, but is that good? So using terms like alpha, I really want to get into the etymology of that. They did originally mean the best or the beginning or the ultimate.
The beginning, yeah.
And you started implying that to evolutionary species, like this is the alpha predator, this is the alpha male in this chimp troop. And I think what Brian's trying to say is that there's no place for that kind of terminology in our world today. And other than maybe from the evolutionary psychology perspective, like where we're trying to think these are the kind of qualities that still exist in us that we need to do everything we can to get rid of.
What me and Mel and Plato were talking about basically is that the reason why it all came up is we were saying the DNA of that shit is still in us and it's hard to break free. Like obviously all of us here agree we should break free of that thinking and feeling. But we have 9 billion people. You got to try to get everyone up, and everyone is a part of it because it's a part of everybody. It's a part of every being on Earth. So it's really hard to fucking break free of that. That's my whole point. And I think that was kind of our whole point the whole time.
Oh,
yeah.
I agree with that. Sorry if I missed that. And we went on a tangent, but maybe
that's fine. I mean,
we got to some.
but that was overall that was the whole beginning of it because we were saying like the reason why we can't do this, or not really can't, but the reason why it's so difficult is because like that's why I keep going back to the 28 generations. Like that hunter gatherers, all that shit that we did, all the nasty shit we've been doing for millions of years
Ever.
is in our DNA. And what Mel is saying is like, since it's in our DNA, like if something triggered, you know, like if somebody's about to kill your fucking mom, you might not be a fucking alpha, tough, strong dude, but guess what? You're gonna fucking probably put your life on the line and fight the strongest fight. You can hear those people that lift cars up, it's the adrenaline rush, all that kind of shit. That shit's in you. It's always in us. We just suppress it a lot, you know, but it's still there.
Yeah. Yeah. So Ryan, question: like, what would you say you were talking about when we switched from like what Wally and I and Plato were on? What do you call that?
Like leadership versus like an alpha, like being an alpha male.
No, because it sounds like you're gonna give a lot more responsibility to maybe life form that we don't respect.
What do you mean?
Okay, so like
I-
Patrick said about bacteria that could wipe us out.
Huh?
So do you get what I'm trying, like what would we call what you guys were trying to
Oh, those are existential threats.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so existentialism. Okay, gotcha.
No, not existentialism, existential threats. Like
Okay.
threats to humanity. Like
A nuclear bomb.
yeah,
and
they're
or, a virus. That is,
y-
if we were to go
yeah.
out, that's probably like people are scared of the nuke thing, which I get is scary. But honestly, the number one way we're gonna die is probably viruses. Some fucking thing's gonna mutate and kill us all. Like that would probably be how it happens.
But it
yeah.
is true that we're like one singular human could take out everyone, one singular individual organism.
In
But yeah, these are all
especially in
different
today's
scales.
world with
There are
airports
20
and shit. That's the whole thing. We have airports that go international. So like, if I'm sick in Minnesota, I can go to California, get people sick, and then fly to fucking Hong Kong, get people sick, and then those people go from Hong Kong.
You can
to-
look up 25 ways. You can look up 25 ways we could all die tomorrow. You can just look that up.
I mean,
Yeah, but
number
let me
one way
ask
is
you
car
this.
accident.
Isn't
No, we
it
could
just
all die. No, not that we could individually die. I mean that we could all die.
Sure, okay,
Extinction.
Yep, I got what you're saying.
Tomorrow. It could happen tonight.
Sure.
but the crazy
20,
part
there are at least 25 ways.
the crazy part of that, it's a human thing to fear that though, and that's humanism at the
That
end of the day again.
Yeah, animals don't think like we do, like that. Like animals don't go, "Oh my God, there's gonna be a bacteria that fucking kills us all," or "This meteor is gonna come and kill us all." Like that is a human.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know.
I guess
You don't know
knows
that.
for
I don't
sure,
know.
But
Because they run away whenever there's
Yeah.
an avalanche and shit. You know what I
Sure.
mean? They get a sixth sense and they run away and
Sure.
shit. They might be tuned into something that we don't quite understand. We were moles or whatever, right? And we dug tunnels whenever the fucking asteroid hit. We had sensibility to figure it out. We dug underground. We survived that shit.
Mhm.
The dinosaurs didn't figure it out. It doesn't mean that they didn't have a sensibility about it.
they also didn't
They
have.
just
the
didn't have the
tools.
opportunity.
Yeah, say they didn't have the tools. Like if you're not a fucking digging animal, let's say whatever, how the fuck do you expect to dig?
Yeah, shit like that.
Mhm.
Hmm.
We just don't know what we don't know.
And that is the scariest thing. That's why I feel like humans are
dope.
so scared of death, because we can't know what actually happens. As much as we all want to believe and think whatever we think and believe, none of us actually know, and that's scary as fuck for us.
Yeah. I think people's opinions about that drive a lot of like behaviors.
Sure,
Oh yeah, I
definitely.
mean, going back to the Alpha Apex dude, like that's the guy that is trying so hard to defy the fact that we will die.
Yeah, he wants to like be
What if he
immortal,
sends you to death?
immortalized.
He's the one that's willing to fucking kill you too. He's like, like
He wants to
Yep.
be Julius Caesar.
maybe.
He wants
I mean,
he wants his face on a coin.
And sadly, I'm not to be mean, but I would say that's probably like 70-80% of people on Earth would probably do that if they had that power and chance.
I think a lot of people are definitely chasing that sort of like fame,
Mm-hmm.
money,
You've seen
status
it today
kind of
with
thing.
culture. Everyone's
It's
seeking clout.
it's
You know,
so
like
Roman.
it's Greeks before them even. You technically, I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
I just tell people like all humans have done has gotten better technology and science in the sense, but like we're pretty much the same actual human beings as those motherfucking
We
ancient
are. We have
Sumerians and
this
shit. Like how we think and feel and
we're the
talk and do
same.
things, like we're very much similar. We haven't grown as much as we should have in that time frame.
Just slightly different variations of the same stories. All of the
Yep.
like metaphysical concepts that we come up with are just
Sure.
like variations
Yep.
to explain the technologies that we have at the time, the perspectives that we have at the time, the
Even the
things that we're
politics that we have
doing.
today are the same as that they were before. They always just come back. Like the race issue will always come back every
Yeah.
20, 30 years. The fight on religion comes back every 20, 30 years. Like all these issues always come back no matter what. We can't ever like that's what I was trying to get back earlier with, like I said, when we ditch a fucking past shit because we progressed, you leave the bad shit behind and you take the good shit and move forward. Like we're really bad at that. We always want to hang on to the bad shit too. It's just like no, like just let go of it, you know. And in time, it always ends up happening.
Yeah,
Like we
someone
always
said
progress.
yeah, it's a spiral, but it's going upwards, but it's a spiral, so we go back to we
Yeah,
go back to a previous
I call it the
thing, but
I call
the
it the rubber
spiral is
band
going
effect.
upward.
But yeah, same thing. Yeah, I don't.
It's probably the planets. Fucking planets are doing it all, dude.
That
That's
damn
some
Mars.
stoner shit, dude. Yeah, that's some stoner shit. Whoever came up with that.
Did you just make that up?
I think I just made it up.
Ah.
That's funny. Yeah, fucking. No, these are difficult things. Like I said, it's gonna be. That's what I always try to say.
Yeah.
I get my doomer part always is I don't know if it's ever gonna be solved or figured out because it's 9 billion people to get us all on one single page and on all morality and all of laws and all whatever, you know, like I just don't know if it'll ever happen. The most we can
Yeah.
do is just make the group around us as big as you can. Like that's kind of your goal, I suppose.
Hey, and you know what else, man? We might just have to dig some holes one of these days.
See, I love me some Apex Man. He's predictable.
That's funny.
On that note,
Dig some.
peace out, dudes.
Yeah, I probably
Have a good one, Mel.
tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Guys, peace out. Good talk.
All right, bye.
Bye.
I'm